That's right. We are trying to get to 33,000 tonight. I need 100 new subs. That's all. I'm going to wait for people to get in. I don't normally go live, but tonight is a different story. This is a call to arms. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to get on and get watching. We are having a party tonight. That's what we're doing. What's up, everybody? What's up, guys? Going live tonight. We're doing a subscriber drive, and I have the live updated numbers on the right over here on my screen. We're at 32,900. That's what's going on tonight. What up, Steven? What's going on, everybody? What up? Steven and Steve. Hi, Jesse. What's going on? Glad to have everybody here. Kind of an impromptu thing, but this is a call to arms, if you will, because the backstory here is Elise from Nate and Elise kept bullying me for the last month, saying that she's going to get to 33,000 subscribers before I do. She's at 32,952. I'm at 32,900. I got it on the screen right here, and I am going to attract new subscribers tonight. We need to tell all your friends. We're going to do a live Q&A. I got the chat going there. I got my live screen show over here. So we're going to wait and get some new subs. Every time I get new subs, I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. What's up, Tim? South Jersey Range Rat. Is that golfing? Was that what we're talking about there? Or is that shooting? One or the other. But yeah, we're doing this tonight. I never go live on here. The only live I do is podcasting with Phil, and we know how fun that is, right? Yeah, I forgot the wheels at work. What's up, Dexter? Tim, what's going on? Yeah, so that's the story right now is need new subscribers. We need 100 tonight. She's probably going to get there tomorrow. So it's best to figure out how to get 100 new subs tonight. And I might go live for hours. I don't know. This is going to be a watch party. This is going to be a Q&A party. Yeah, just in my office chilling. That's what we're doing tonight. So it's Wednesday, 7:20 Eastern right now. Wet Banana Mike, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you. Bowling at Turnersville Bolero right now. Hopefully, Robert, that they have more oil in the lanes than I did when I did the no oil challenge. I know how some FEC centers can be stingy about their oil, especially in the summertime, right? So get Sarah and Charles in this chat. They don't know I'm doing it. They don't know I'm going live right now. That's the thing. They have no clue. Everybody can hear me all right? Everybody good? I'm just using my phone. We're going vertical live. It's doing something way different, way completely different from the norm. And Justin, how did I do in nationals? I shot 17-17. I actually paid for the service for videography, so I'll have team doubles and singles, and I mic'd myself up for all that. So I'll have that video out after the tournament's completed. I think that's the rules by USBC. I can't post a video until it's done. They actually gave me the video because I told them, I'm like, I won't post it. I just want to have time to edit it. But I do have the video. I did watch it. It was very struggle bus in team and not so much in doubles and singles. So, like I said, I got the live counter on my subscribers here. So the whole point of this is to get 100 new subscribers. So if you're watching and you aren't subscribed to the channel, just hit that subscribe button, please. We're trying to get 100 tonight. We need to cross that threshold. We need to beat Nate and Elise. They been bullying me nonstop, saying, hey, we're going to get to 33K before. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You're going to eat my dust. Da-da-da-da-da. And that's all good. I love good competition, but they don't know that I have the best supporters and the best fans on YouTube. and they're going to come through for me tonight. So we're going to get to 33,000 tonight. That's the goal. That's the hope anyway. And so with your help, share this live stream, put it out there, let people know I'm going live. All right. Gibby TV, love your content and knowledge from the videos, helping me on my journey to better average. Hey, that's what I'm here for. And when I do reviews, I get this comment a lot is, I'm not just reviewing the ball. Sometimes I'm going to go through and talk about my adjustments and how you can actually improve, go through the thought process, talk about not just what the ball's doing, but how I can adjust things and make things better to get better reaction. Because there's certain things, everybody's so quick to be like, oh, I need to make a ball change. Well, there's a lot of things you can adjust before you actually go to a new ball. So, got a new sub, 32,901, baby. That's it. At this rate, we're going to have 33,000 tonight. I can feel it. I can feel it in my soul that we're going to get there. And I hope that Nate and Elise happen to just be scrolling on YouTube and they see me going live. Probably not, because she doesn't subscribe to my channel. I don't think she subscribes to my channel. She'll probably subscribe after after she hits 33. But that's the story. 32,903. We're jumping up. I really appreciate everybody coming through in the clutch. I really do appreciate it, and it will not go unthanked. I've been doing some shirt giveaways for members, but if we hit 33,000 tonight, I'm going to have a Woo Box link for a giveaway, probably shirt too, something like that. I know it's probably backwards on your screen, but I'm wearing the new putt shirt that I come up with, purple up the twig. Appreciate it. So I'm going to do live Q&A. So we're going to do this for a while. I want to see how this number can grow, and we're going to catch that number tonight. Bruns Yuck in the chat, what's up? Speaking of the winner of the shirt, he was the winner of the shirt. I mentioned Woo Box. He comes out of the woodwork. He stops lurking. Yeah. Jeff Whaley, when building a 6-ball arsenal, do you drill all the balls the same layout? Yes, because I'm going to pick bowling balls that are going to be different in composition with how much they flare, their cover strength. And so same layouts are good for me. 32,906, baby. Let's go. Just jumped another 32,907. I really appreciate it. Holy moly. We're going to come through in the clutch tonight, baby. Let's go. So I will be dropping that Woo Box in the I won't do a video. I'm going to put it in the community tab. So it's going to be a post with that stuff. So everybody who's subscribed is going to see it. But getting back to the arsenals, you can drill different things. You can use different layouts. I don't lean on layouts too much as I do surfaces, cover strength, surfaces, and core strength. So kind of in that order, I'm going to use different surfaces and cover strengths to get the ball down the lane how I need it. And then I'm going to use the core strength to kind of build on what part of the lane I'm trying to play. So I'm trying to play straighter. I'm going to use less flare. If I want to play a little bit more open angles, I'm going to need something that flares a lot more. 32,909. We are jumping along. I want to get to 33K tonight. That's the story. Nate and Elise have bullied me for a month now, saying it's mostly just Elise. Nate's not saying anything. It's all Elise. 32,910. Really appreciate it. They said they're going to get there to 33K. I thought they would have got there already. They did pass me. They're 32,952. I got her update not too long ago, about 20 minutes ago. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to get on here live. I'm going to get here and ask for subscribers to get me to 33K, and it's going to be so sweet. She can have the rest. She's got a great channel. Don't get me wrong. She's been doing reviews on Brunswick products and other products and all that stuff, and she does a great job. She's very fun to watch, so I definitely should subscribe to her channel after I get to 33K. So, yeah, arsenal building, there's all sorts of things you can think about, but I'm gonna have my couple of urethane balls in there. I'm gonna have my big strong ASIM that's gonna hook the whole lane if I need it, flip. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have one benchmark ball where I can, if I can't use urethane, I'm gonna have something smooth, and then I'm gonna pick a couple of my favorite balls. It just depends what time of year. So let's see, I'm gonna scroll back a little bit here. Steve, love your videos. You're costing me money. Just ordered the bubblegum ball. Thanks. Wife shakes her head. It's for a good cause, and just tell her, bowling ball addiction is probably a lot cheaper than a golf addiction, and you could be spending your money on gambling or something else, so you don't get anything out of it. So 32,911, we're jumping up. We just jumped up another one, and let's see what we got here. Peter Brennan Peter Brennan asks, is the Bubblegum Vibe a good replacement for the Black Onyx remake? I believe that Black Onyx was a straight up pearl. So I would say yes, it's going to be the most comparable. I don't remember the Black Onyx. I never threw it. That was before my time with Hammer. That was when it was still in Hopkinsville. So I don't know if that one was more angular or not, but if it was one of the more smoother ones, and if somebody in the chat can help me with the Black Onyx, you might be better off going with Ocean Vibe, non-HK cover, as opposed to the Bubblegum. But if you want to see a little more back end, if that Black Onyx was more snappy, then by all means get the Bubblegum, because that ball comes off the spot really hard, really clean, and it is pretty sharp. But you need friction to throw at. You know, Vibes, they are aggressive when there's friction, but, you know, if you try to throw them on heavy oil, you're going to have to wait for it to develop quite a bit. So let's see what else we got. Hanson and Drina. Hello, Nick. What do you think of the name Hammer Power NV Tour Hybrid Reactor? I think that's a mouthful. Not going to lie. You know, names are so difficult. I don't even take part in the process of naming bowling balls or helping. And yeah, so, you know, sometimes I get asked by Phil, hey, you know, we need a name. Here's a couple of choices, and I'll give my suggestions, because those are typically names that have already been approved. So, Blaine Jeffrey, good to see you too, buddy. Ben Grimm, I'll be your sub daddy. No, it's Zaddy. Thank you. Andrew Morton, wear tighter pants. I would, but hey, that's not what we're here for. We're here to do it the old-fashioned way. Trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. We need to pass Nate and Elise. Elise has been bullying me for a month. She's saying she's going to get to 33,000. You can eat my dust, Nick. Da-da-da-da-da. Our channel rules. Your channel sucks. But we're at 32,912. We've already gained 12 new subscribers just in 12 minutes. So I will go live for 100 minutes if that's what it takes. If we're averaging one new sub every minute, then I will go live for 100 minutes. I have nothing better to do. I just started my vacation. We got a week off, or I do. I mean, I got July 3rd and 4th off, and then I'm also taking a bulk of next week off because my friend from California is flying in. We're going to have some fun in West Michigan. So, yeah. Jeff Whaley, Black Onyx was earlier and smooth. So, I would say Ocean Vibe, just based off of that. You know, the Arctic and the Bubblegum are fairly on the flippier side. So 32,913, we're on pace. Let's keep it going. I really appreciate it. If we hit 33,000 tonight, I am going to do a shirt giveaway. We'll give away a couple shirts. I really appreciate it. Nothing more I like in this world than giving away shirts and beating Elise at her own game. So they go live all the time. Their channel's great. They go live all the time. They do leagues, tournaments, all this stuff. I never go live. I don't hardly even post shorts. So, Andy, I've subbed with all my other Google accounts. That's amazing idea. Thank you. That's really thinking outside the box. So, for those who don't know Andy, I bowl nationals with Andy. Andy, how would you say our nationals experience went this year? We didn't bowl doubles together, but hey, you know, it's going away. So, Blaine, I'm upset with Storm. Threw 3 balls away, 1 cracked. Helios, can't put my thumb insert in. Archetype. Wow. Yeah. I would talk to your driller. Maybe there's some issues with how they're getting installed. I'm not sure. So, but once again, we're watching this live counter here on this other screen, trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. This is a call to arms for everybody that's on the fence about subscribing. You know, we need to get to 33,000 tonight. That's the goal. And I'm going to give away a couple shirts. I'll post it in the community tab once I get that all set up. So really appreciate everybody's support. And honestly, like, I probably have 32,000 more subscribers than I deserve. You guys have been great in supporting the channel and growing. When I started this up again, I didn't know what it was going to be. I just wanted to make some bowling ball videos like I have in the past. And I just felt like I can do a good job. And I feel like I had something to offer still, and make some reviews that can help some people out with some Brunswick products. So that's why I do what I do. So let's see what else we got here. Steve, I'm new to the surface adjustment. I haven't done any out of the box and go. My favorite ball is outer limits through 300 with it. Awesome. Congrats. Yeah, I mean, surface adjustments, you know, there's no one size fits all. You know, I always get that question like, oh, hey, what surface should I use on this ball? I'm going to bowl this tournament. And I was like, I really don't know because one, I don't know your game. I don't know how you throw it. And ultimately, you got to be able to see it. You know, you got to be able to adjust it on the fly when you're in practice. You know, you'd be able to adjust your surface in practice, not in competition, and get that ball to slow down and do what you need it to do to get through the pins and strike. You know, if the ball's setting up good and going through the pocket and then splitting the 8-9, you're in the right spot. But if the ball's kind of skidding a little too far, you know, and coming behind the head pin, maybe leaving flat 10s, wrap 10s, maybe 2-pin, 2-4-5 leaves, something like that, you could probably bring the surface down a little bit and get that ball to hook a little bit earlier, bring that reaction closer to you, and get that ball to set up sooner. So, Stephen, I can't say it, DeFeo, I think I got it right. What's a good way to be more consistent with your release? The more I practice, the worse I'm getting. Stephen, ultimately, you're going to want to get a lesson. Get a lesson with a good coach to be able to make your mechanics more repeatable. Simple and repeatable is the key, especially if you're trying to get better. You know, you're fairly new to bowling. Getting your mechanics in order so that they're easy to repeat. And everybody's different. So everybody's built different. And, you know, you can't teach one thing to everybody and have it work. So make sure your fit's good. That's all something a coach can take a look at. Work with your pro shop. Become buddy-buddy with them. You know, that's the main thing. So for everybody just joining in, we got 46 people watching live. That's way more than I thought. But we're trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. That's it. We're at 32,913. I'm watching it live on the screen here. Every time it kicks up, we've been averaging about one new sub every minute. If we get to 33, I'm going to be so excited. We're going to give away a couple shirts to all the subscribers. I'll have a WooBox link in the community tab post once I get that up and going. So it's been a good day so far. 32,913 is what we're at. The whole thing. 32,914. Appreciate it. Just clicked over. We're trying to beat Nate and Elise tonight. They've been bullying me nonstop. They just talk about, hey, we're getting a 33K first. I told them, like, I'm getting the 33K first. You can have all the rest of the accolades. You can get the 50K, 100K, whatever first. After that, 33K is mine. 33K is mine. You can have all the rest. You know, Jeff Whaley, will a lower flare ball have less continuation for 375 rev rate, medium tilt, axis rotation on a house shot? It could. I mean, if you're comparing a lower differential ball to a ball that flares higher, you know, it just depends on what part of the lane you're trying to bowl on. So in my experience, the more I move left with a lower flaring ball, the less continuation I have, just because it has a problem kind of getting back up that hill and getting through the pins. So more flare is usually your friend when you're starting to move in, because you need to get that ball to slow down. And a ball with less flare, you know, is going to be skidding more for the most part, just depending on surface. But if surfaces were the same, I would say that a ball, you know, if you're opening up your angles, a ball with more flare is going to carry better. I think that's it. 5'8", Bob the Rapper, purple up the twig. Yeah, you notice the shirt, brand new shirt. You know, I got all those shirts on Inside Bowling. Come up with a bunch of them. The whole collection's like 30 shirts deep now. I got so many different styles in there. But once again, we're trying to get the 33K tonight. And the whole point of that is so that Nate and Elise do not win. They're trying to get the 33K before me. They're ahead of me right now. They're at 32,950. So I am behind. They passed me in the last few days. So we are working on getting new subscribers tonight, and I'm going to go live until we get there. That's the thing. Yep. Brad, I think you should challenge Nate and Elise to a match at the House of Pain for the title of Supreme Champion. I like that idea. Eventually, Elise will come up to Brunswick at some point, and I think we will film content. Nate's with Storm, so unfortunately he wouldn't be able to, you know, come into Brunswick and do whatever he'd like to do, because that's just not how we operate. But I would like to work with Elise in the future. We can do a lot of fun stuff. We actually talk quite a bit, and she's been bullying me for the greater part of a month, you know, saying that they're going to pass us, they're going to do this, they're going to hit 33,000 before me. And I said, nay, that's not what's going to happen, because my subscribers and my potential subscribers that are tuning in right now, click that subscribe button, I need you to sub tonight. I need to get to 33K tonight. We are at 32,914. I've gained 14 new subs in just the 20 minutes we've been on here. We're starting to lose the pace a little bit. We need to kick that up a little bit. We need to hit that subscribe button, and we need to get there. Jason says, I miss YABI. I still have my old patches. You're seeing all the old plaques up there showing that 32915, whoever that was, thank you. If you subbed and you're in the chat, please let me know. I will give you a shout out on the live stream. So if you're in here and you just hit the subscribe button, let me know you did it. I appreciate you subscribing. I promise you, 32916, let's go. But yeah, I got a lot of honor scores in youth bowling, YABA. They gave out good plaques, and there was really no limit at the time. You know, this is back in, gosh, 2000, somewhere in there, when I was starting to age out. And yeah, I got my rings, I got my plaques, all that fun stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Andy. Oh, let's see. Michael, sorry. I still throw the midnight vibe and it's continually hits like a truck. Yeah, I mean, the hammer bowling balls, especially vibes, you know, if you take care of them, they're going to last you a long time. You know, any bowling ball, really. But, you know, the vibes being kind of a medium strength ball, they're not as susceptible to like the oil absorption as much as, say, like Black Widows. So, you know, they take a little bit less effort to keep top notch. So, you know, the same thing can be said for a lot of bowling balls. You still see people throwing like, you know, danger zones, like original danger zones from 30 years ago, and they still use them. You know, they take care of them, they change the grips, they resurface, they do the oil extraction, and the bowling balls still do really well. Andy, I thought we grinded well in team. Were there other events? I don't remember. Yeah, team was bad. I apologize for that bad game on the end. But hey, what do you want from a one-trick pony when purple up the twig was not in play? I don't know what you want me to do. So, yeah. Michael Smith, hey Nick, can you convince Phil to make a new radical spare ball? You know, the funny thing about Phil is it's like that old, you know, saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Phil is like a stubborn mule when it comes to things. You know, it's got to be his idea, and that's fine. It's his company. And, you know, when we have a spare ball, you know, he's always just like, oh, yeah, it's fine. We got a spare ball. We're good already. So Andy made them look playable in doubles and singles. I made them look impossible. Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have an idea of what it takes to throw urethane, and you know that's kind of like the one-trick pony you need to have in your bag. So playing purple up the twig, you know, that's in doubles at least. You know, team, it didn't look good at all. Jeff Whaley says, looking for a ball recommendation to replace the Radical HK22 Conspiracy. I had drilled short pin, I loved to play outside or step up the black hammer, but it cracked. Okay. Well, if you got that Conspiracy, you want something that's similar, take a look at that new Entity. It's got the HK22 Cohesion solid on it. And the numbers are actually kind of close. I think it's right in the same ballpark. I know on the intermediate side, it's right on. So take a look at the Entity, and I think that would be a good ball as a candidate for a short pin layout, since you like that kind of stuff. Oh, Hanson, I got scammed on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, by the way, 32917, we just got another subscriber. Appreciate it. We're trying to get to 33,000 tonight. That's the thing. We need to get to 33,000 tonight so that we can hit the nitrous button and blow right past Nate and Elise. They're at 32,950 something and change. So if we can pass them tonight, I'm going to give away a couple of t-shirts. I'm at 32,918. We're jumping along. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you're in the chat and you just subscribe, let me know. I will gladly give you a shout out on the live stream. So going on with Facebook, I bought an M&I Impact from a guy in Vegas, and I believe it was 15. Checked the weight at home, it showed 13. What should I do? I mean, you can try contacting the guy and just letting him know what's up, and maybe you can get your money back. But yeah, I mean, sometimes a lot of these sellers are going to be weighing things on their home scale. 32,919, we're jumping up there. We're getting back on pace. I really appreciate it. The problem is, when you weigh on a scale, it's not always accurate. So, maybe they thought it was 15 pounds based on their scale, and their scale was off. Maybe if you ask them, they'll meet up and get your money back, and let them know that it's a 13-pound ball. But other than that, the only other option you have is really to sell it or resell it. Try to, but sorry that happened. Rivs, I'm already subbed. Let me jump on my sock puppet account. That's awesome. Jason, hey, that's no fair. There are two of them and one of me. That is true, but I never take that into account. This is the only time you're probably going to see me compete with another channel, just because she has basically bullied me for the last month and made it personal, a vendetta, if you will. So my only competition on YouTube is with myself. I want to make a better video than I did last week. I want to make better content than I did last week. And I'm always coming up with ideas. Some work, some don't. So, the Nerf ball idea was just an idea that came to me as something that I just wanted to try. So I filmed the whole process of trying to make a Nerf bowling ball. It just didn't work. 32,920. I appreciate whoever else's sock puppet account that was. Houston Hometown Bowlers, what's up, H-Town? Softest hand at the bottom of the swing. Sam Stevens, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully everybody's here, chilling, having a good Wednesday night. It's July 2nd. Any plans for Independence Day? My plans, I got my pup down here below me at my feet, and he does not like fireworks one bit. So we go into the movie room, we play something loud, action that has a lot of booms and bangs, so it can mask all the things, because in Michigan, pretty much every firework is legal. So even the mortars, the loud blasts, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's my plans, is loud movie and popcorn, ice cream, all that good stuff, all the junk food I could possibly get. So for everybody just tuning in, we got 62 people tuning in live. I appreciate you watching with me, and we're trying to get to 33K tonight. We're trying to beat Nate and Elise. They're at 32,950, but they don't know that I had the ace up my sleeve, going live and asking for the best subscribers in the world to support the channel. Get me to 33K. That's all I asked. She can have the rest of the accolades. She can have 34, 35, 50, 100, million. She can have all that. I only want 33,000. When I do that, I'm going to give away a couple shirts. I'm going to have that Woo Box link, that whole contest, in the community tab after this is all done. We're going to get there tonight. I have a feeling it's going to happen. Ben Grimm, can't have Nate in the building. He'll kick a ball return. Yeah, that's not going to be good, right? We don't want that. Josh, if you were trying to play straight on a lower volume lane, would you recommend the Anger, Scorpion, Low Flare, or other reactive? Well, it depends how much ball speed you have. If it was me personally and I'm playing on a lower volume lane, I'm probably going to be throwing urethane. That's my number one choice. I'll be playing out towards the gutter if it's a lower volume and shorter pattern for sure. And trying my best with that. But usually speed and playing out further right is the best way to go. So, but of those that you picked, I would probably go Scorpion, Low Flare. Just because if I'm playing on a lower volume, I don't need the help from a higher flaring ball. Anger's a higher flaring ball. Scorpion Low Flare will allow me to stay straighter. So DB Bowers, what's up? Welcome. Appreciate you always supporting the channel. Houston Hometown Bowlers, been a sub since 2019. I appreciate it. Yeah, 32,921. We just jumped another one. We're going to get to 33,000 tonight by the end of this live stream. We're averaging roughly about one new sub every minute and 20 seconds. So if we can just jump this number up, we're trying to beat Nate and Elise. They're going to hit 33,000 probably tomorrow. So we need to hit this tonight so we can bring... What if we brought Elise on the live stream after we hit 33K? She probably has no idea. I think they're in nationals right now in Baton Rouge, and he was bowling doubles earlier, and they're probably doing whatever now. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen her popped on. I don't think she subscribes to the channel, and that's just her loss because she's missing the show. 32,922. We are just 78 away. We've already got 22 no subscribers from going live. I really appreciate all the support from all the new blood that's coming in. subscribing to the channel. We need to get to 33K tonight. That's all we need. When we get there, we're going to have a party. We're going to give away a couple shirts. And I'm going to have that link, that WooBox link in the community tab soon after. Once I, call her and break the news that, hey, appreciate the effort, but we got to 33K tonight. She'll say, how did you do that? How did you pay? And I'll just send her the link to this live stream on how we got there, because history is done. Should have done this at the bowling alley. Might have pulled more viewers, possibly. That's possible, but vacation starts today, and I have a week off. We have a couple days from the company, and my friend is coming out on Sunday. We're going to have 4 days together. He's coming out from California, longtime friend. We're going to go take him across the state, see some stuff, and go from there. So let's see what else we got. Blaine, can't wait to watch your league again. Thought I'm only 68. Taught me so much. There we go. I'm only 68, still learning 210 average. Love your commentary. Hey, I'm actually looking forward to League 2. We start back up in September. So, it's July. Got a couple of months of nice weather to enjoy first. And then, September rolls around. The weather starts cooling off. And then the bad weather starts coming from October on. So that's it's kind of fitting. So once it's nice out, everybody goes outside. There's hardly any leagues in Michigan to bowl. But once winter comes, I will be doing league commentary again. I had a lot of fun doing it. And fun fact, my average actually went up 9 pins this year because I was live streaming. 32,923. We just jumped another one. I got my live counter up here on the other screen. 32,923, and we're gonna get to 33,000 tonight. So if everybody's watching, you're on the fence about subscribing to the channel, appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. If you did subscribe, let me know you did in the chat, and I will gladly give you a shout out, because I'm gonna give away 2 shirts tonight when we hit to 33. I'm gonna make a link. I'm gonna put it in my community tab, and you're gonna see the post. And we're going to give away a couple shirts to the subscribers that are here. So, Gibby TV, I have an Arctic 5 and thinking about a Mania. How would they compare? Well, the Mania is going to be stronger. It's going to be able to play a little bit more angle, especially when there's maybe a little more oil. So cover stock strength is quite a bit different with cohesion additive as opposed to just normal HK22 base. So, and also the flare, you're going to flare a lot more with the Mania as opposed to the Arctic. So Arctic's strong, don't get me wrong. If you have that one now, you'll just be able to have open angles and get the ball through the pins a little bit better. 32,924, we're jumping up. We are about 25% of the way to get there. So at this pace, this is going to be a 2-hour live stream, but I think we can get there quicker. With your help, we need to get to 33K tonight. We started with 32,900 when I went live. We're at 32,924, so this is working. I appreciate everybody popping in, saying whatever you got to say, asking questions, showing your support. Appreciate all the comments and everybody in here. So that's the backstory. We got to get to 33K tonight. We got to beat Nate and Elise. They're at 32,950 and change. We need to get there before they do, because she bullies me, she treats me like dirt, says I'm going to eat her dust, but little does she know, I can go live too. I can ask everybody for their support, and a 33,000 number is so in reach tonight. We're going to get there. See what else we got here. Bad Dog, have my original Turbo X from 92, not quite the same as the one just released. I wish I had the original still. I had one a long time ago. I would like to compare it heads up, but finding one now would be like next to impossible. Finding one that's undrilled or even lightly used, that's the problem. And a ball that's been sitting for 30 plus years, you never know what condition it's going to be in, even if it was new. Because, bowling balls, they don't get better with age, and storing them. So it's best to get a new ball and use it right away. Kuya J Gaming, I have a urethane purple, but I feel to get another currently, have a pinup. What do you think? Well, I like that idea. 32,925, by the way, we're a quarter of the way there. I carry 2 urethane bowling balls in my bag. that rule that says you can't surface your ball after competition has begun. So I keep two. So I brought two to nationals, two purples. I drilled them the exact same, but one was kind of left out of box and lane shine, and the other one was at 360. So having two different grits, I think that's the biggest advantage of having multiple urethanes, purple hammers in the bag. You could also go black hammer and drill it the same and have that same effect as far as a step down. Depends what route you want to go. I personally like the purple. 32,927. We just jumped up a couple more. If you're in the chat and you just joined us, give me a shout out. I'll give you a shout out back. Appreciate it. Tomi Salami, do you like kombucha? I don't think I do. I don't think I've ever had kombucha. That's a drink, I believe, but I'm not sure what it is. I don't think I've ever had it. Bad Dog Sports, do you remember the ball you shot your first 300 with? Yes, I do, and it's going to come as a shock to all, but it was actually a storm ball. I used an El Nino to shoot my first 300 and 800, and I achieved both of those scores on the same shot. So I shot 235, 265 for the first two games, so I needed a 300 the last game to shoot 800 on the nose, and I did it. So I shot 300 the last game. And this was moving pairs too. This was during a match play segment where we started, the first three games, and we moved every pair. So this was on three different pairs, but I did shoot that with an El Nino. Jeff Whaley, we need more subscribers. You're right, 32,927. We need to get back on pace here. We're getting to 33,000 tonight. That's all we need. 33,000 subs tonight. It's been kind of a competition between Nate and Elise and I, mostly Elise. Nate just kind of goes along for the ride, but she bullies me. She says she's going to get to 33K tonight, or not tonight, but I'm getting there tonight. She's getting to get there tomorrow. She's going to let me know that, hey, 33K is mine tonight because we're going to get 73 more subscribers tonight. I feel it. We're going to get there. I'm going to keep... if I unsub to them, does it lower their number? The funny thing is on Facebook, I made a post showing the competition, and she was on there. She shared the post, and then she telling people jokingly to unsubscribe from mine, and they actually did. So I actually lost 20 subscribers over last weekend because some of her followers were saying, okay, I'll unsubscribe to him. I was like, oh, that's nice. I mean, you'll do anything to win. I think she might have deleted those comments by now, but yeah, I told her, I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but people are actually unsubscribing to my channel because you're telling them to. So she's like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I was like, yeah, terrible thing to do. But she was doing it jokingly. Unfortunately, people followed through, but we're going to have the last laugh tonight, aren't we? We're going to get the 33K before them. Bill Price, I'm interested in why you drill your fingers offset. I'm right-handed and have some finger arthritis from old hand injuries. I'm wondering if your style might help me. Bill, yes, it absolutely could. And I had the same hand issues. So when I was younger, I tried all sorts of different grips. And what happened was I went to no grips. I tried to go just straight drilling into the ball. And what happened was I injured myself. I had a tendon issue that ran up my ring finger all the way up my forearm. I went to see a doctor. They sent me to a specialist. They said, you didn't damage anything per se. You hyperextended your tendon or something like that. Or, like when you kind of bend your knee weird and it hyperflexes or whatever. So I had to take time off, but I couldn't bowl for a while. And so what I needed to do was to reduce my grip pressure in my hand. So the Sarge Easter grip, that's what it's called. It's a ring finger that's drilled conventional, and then everything else is drilled normal. So fingertip on the middle finger, ring finger is drilled conventional. So what that allows me to do is have a better feel in the ball where I'm kind of more locked in, where I don't have to feel like I grab the ball to kind of hold on to it. So that was the main thing, was grip pressure, getting that down, and that has helped me out. That's the only thing that's helped out. I went away from the Sarge grip after a couple of years because I felt like my hand issues were gone. And after about a year and a half, they started coming back. And because I was bowling a lot, I was bowling regionals, and I was bowling a lot of tournaments. And in 2014, I made a decision to go back to Sarge Easter Grip full time, and I've been using it since. So 11 years since I made that, and I haven't had a single hand issue since. So yeah, I think it could help. Talk to your pro shop and talk to them about maybe trying it out on an old ball. So we're trying to get to 33K tonight. We're at 32,927, watching the live counter here on the other screen. Jeff, I really loved the OG Columbia Pulse. Is the remake close to the OG? I really need a symmetrical benchmark solid. My favorite is the Royal Blue Ringer. Is the new Pulse close to that? I think the new Pulse is going to be stronger and earlier than the Royal Blue. If you look at the numbers, the RG is like super low, and the differential is really high. So it's not a complete remake from the original because it's not, it doesn't have the, I think the original might have been thick shell. I'm not sure. But it is a remake, but it is more of a reimagination. It is a stronger ball than the original. I never had the original, so I don't have anything to compare off of. A lot of my friends did. And I did throw a lot of Columbia in the 90s, but I never did have that one. So that ball was very popular. It seemed very smooth. I think it was shiny too back in the day, and this one's going to come out dull. So this is going to be a benchmark on the stronger end. So, all right, let's see. Monk, when I think, what will they come up with next? We just hit 32,928. We just jumped up another one. I'm trying to hit the 33 tonight. 33,000 subscribers or bust. That's what we need to pass Nate and Elise. We need to get there first. And they're at 32,950. Oh, we just lost a subscriber. 32,927. Was it something I said? Monk says, what will they think of next? Brunswick knocks my socks off. Look forward to the Pulse. Yeah, I'm going to review that one in a couple weeks. Everybody's videos will be out at the end of the month. So those bowling balls don't come out till August. So every time this year we have Bowl Expo and bowling balls get in the catalog. So we approve them all at the same time. So all of July, all of August, bowling balls get approved at the same time. But only a select few go out. They don't go out to shops or anything like that. Only a couple people got them so far. 32,928. We're back on track. Appreciate that. And so it gets a little muddy because people ask, oh, hey, when you were reviewing the Pulse, when you were reviewing the new Combat from Brunswick, 32,929. We just jumped up another one. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to 33,000 tonight, and that phone call to Elise is gonna be so sweet. I'm gonna say, hey, I really appreciate your commitment to trying to beat me into 33. Unfortunately, my fans are so much more reliable and they're so much better than your fans that they came through in the clutch, got me to the 33 before you. Appreciate the competition. You can have the rest of the accolades. 32,930. We are jumping along here, and it's gonna happen tonight. So, all right, Mikey. Picked up the Widowmania First League night tonight. Thanks for the review. You're very welcome. You're going to love that ball. That is a very fun ball to throw. I mean, any Widow I've thrown, I never threw any Widows back in the day because I was on Brunswick staff when those came out. So when we picked up the Hammer brand and I was finally able to throw one, I finally just said, well, obviously, of course, these things are amazing. My first video when I kicked off the channel again in 2023 was for the Black Widow Hybrid 2.0 hybrid. So that was the first video I did back in 2023 where I was like, I'm going to do reviews again full time because I don't see a whole lot of Brunswick reviews out there, and I think I can do a great job. I've done it in the past. I woke up one morning and I said, you know what? I'm going to do reviews. So I did it. I went to work on a Sunday morning. I started filming, and it's been fun. It's been a fun thing ever since. 2.5 years now. What are we going? July? Yeah. So I started that in February of 2023, and we're at 32,931. We just got another one, and like I said before, I got 32,000 more subs than I deserve. You guys are great supporting the channel. I like making content. I have fun doing it. I hope that comes across. When I'm doing reviews, I try to coach a little bit too, try to talk a little bit about mechanics or just bowling in general, how to do this, how to do that, what I'm thinking of, that kind of stuff. So I hope it helps. And I get a lot of those comments that say, hey, you really, I don't know if you notice this or realize you do it, but you are helping as you are kind of promoting this new ball. You're educating as you go along, as you kind of encounter things when you throw the ball. Not every ball I'm going to strike with from the get-go. Some bowling balls I need to adjust. Some bowling balls I don't match up to. It doesn't like the pattern it's on. And so I try to work it out. I try to figure out the ball. So I go through my thought process and how I do it. So DB, I pass along the channel each Thursday at League. I really appreciate that. Word of mouth is so huge, because when you think about it, buying a bowling ball is kind of a commitment. They're not cheap. We realize that. So you got to be really sure about what you're buying. And I think when you watch reviews, obviously you got to take them with a grain of salt, because not everybody throws it like me. Maybe there's someone out there that throws it more like you. Trying to get an idea. I try to use Specto to kind of let you have a comparison between reviews. So I shoot everything the same. I put the same pattern out. I use the same layouts. I don't touch the surfaces, and I let the numbers be what they are. So anybody who really wants a comparison, they can look at the Specto numbers from one video to another, playing each part of the lane, because I'm playing all the zones the same as well. So you can kind of get an idea on what each ball does compared to one another based on the numbers. So you can see how much hook I'm getting. You can see the entry angle, impact angle, and the pin deck exit board, which I think those three numbers right there are the most important. You got to pay attention to everything else, but the launch speed is important, because some bowling balls I may have to throw a little slower in the zone. 32, 9, 32. We just jumped up another one. Appreciate it. We're gonna get to 33,000 tonight. It's gonna happen. It's Wednesday, July 2nd, 8:03 Eastern, and we are about a third of the way there. We're 46 minutes into this live. I've had a lot of fun so far, kind of yapping, taking questions, having a fun time. And I don't do live very often. I do live on the podcasts, but on this channel, I don't do a whole lot of them. I kind of, I do them about once a year, maybe something like that. But if we hit 33,000 tonight, and we are going to hit 33,000 tonight, we're going to need 68 new subscribers. I'm going to do a link for giveaways for a couple of shirts. You can get a Purple Up the Twig shirt. You can get whatever shirt. You can get a Brunswick shirt. We got Still Legal. We put that stuff on everything shirt. I've come up with a lot of shirts. There's probably like 30 shirts in that collection now. Michael Smith, how do you think the new Severe Collision compares to the Torpedo? I love the Torpedo, but the Collision looks very good as well. Too much of an overlap? Question. I think that the Torpedo is quicker off the spot. I think it stands up a little bit quicker to friction, and I think it comes off of it more abrupt. And I think the Severe Collision is a little bit more smooth as it goes through it, a little bit more sweeping, and the Torpedo is a lot sharper off the spot. On paper, they're kind of similar in how they're built, but how they roll is quite a bit different. The cover stock strength, I don't know what Phil puts in his cover stock additives, but the Severe Collision compared to Torpedo, comparatively, both balls are angular. Don't get me wrong, both balls are angular, but the Severe Collision is going to be a little bit more smoother, continuous, and the Torpedo is going to be a little more abrupt skid flip off the spot. Isaac, keep it up, Brunswick. Appreciate it. Like I said, if you're getting in the chat, you don't know what's going on, we're trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. I started with 32,900 at the beginning of this live stream, and I need to get to 33,000. We need to beat Nate and Elise to get there. They have no idea I'm doing this. They kept bullying me. Well, just Elise. They kept bullying me, saying, hey, you're not going to get to 33 before us. We're way better. Our fans are better. They're going to subscribe to our channel more, blah, 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 blah. So, Gripsack, I just unsubbed to sub again. I don't think it works that way. It's just -1 +1. I don't think that works. But Sam Stevens, saw him the other day. DB Bowers, my favorite video is still Extreme Envy. That seems like a long time ago when we did the Extreme Envy video. That had to have been, what, the end of 2023? Maybe? I don't think that was 2024. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Sometimes we talk about how many bowling balls we come out, and we review so many that it becomes a blur. And honestly, after a little bit of time, after a ball comes out, we've had a couple more launches. I kind of forget about stuff sometimes, because I'm on to the next one. What's the next video I'm doing? Burnt grass. She should sub. So she'll be doing content with her. Make sure you are at 32,999 when she subscribes. That would be awesome. Call her up on on here and make her subscribe to me to be the 33,000 subscribe. That would be fun, Graham. She has no idea I'm going live right now. I don't think she has no clue that we're about to pass her. They're at 32,950 and change. That's what I looked at when I first got on here, and I thought they passed me and got there already. But I joke with her all the time, because they, their channel is, very popular. But I always joke, it's like, oh, you're just buying your subscribers. You're just paying to have all these subscribers. They're not even real people. How much is this costing you? Kind of teasing her a little bit. But, everything I've done on my channel has been organic. Growth has been organic. I've done a few giveaways throughout the time when I've hit certain numbers. I think we did a giveaway at 5,000, 10,000. And I'm going to give away 2 shirts tonight. Once we hit 33,000, I'll have the WooBox link, the giveaway, in the community tab. So I'll make a post and we'll get this here. Excellent plan for the weekend, DB. Yep. Sam, you bowled here in Baton Rouge yet? If so, did you like the state? Yes, I do like Louisiana. It's my second time visiting there and my second time bowling there. The local food in Baton Rouge was very good. I got a couple of insider spots. I hit a barbecue place up called Hannah Q's, and Capital City Grill, I think that was called. Those are the 2 main, and the pizza spot downtown. I forget what it's called. Top Shop. I don't remember what I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, I did all my touristy stuff last time. I was there was 2012. I went to New Orleans, walked around Baton Rouge, did all that kind of stuff, walked around New Orleans, saw all that stuff. So this time was kind of a quicker trip, just kind of in, out to bowl. I never even left Baton Rouge. Didn't even have a car. I just kind of Ubered where I needed to go and rode with Phil when I needed to go. But no, I think it's great. I like coming there. I probably like it more than Reno now, to be honest. Let's see what we got. Isaac. I even saw a video from Sarah when she said, "Where is Nick?" Good question. Very good question. Sarah says, Sarah's actually still kind of halfway recovering from her surgery on her wrist. And Frank, cheers from the Click Lanes Lounge. I was just there. I was there in the morning. I was filming new Hammer bowling balls. Missed you. But yeah, Sarah's going to come back out here. She wants to film some more content. She hasn't been to Muskegon probably almost in a year. But we need some more subscribers. We need to get to 33K. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you're just lurking on the chat, you're wondering, should I subscribe to this guy? The answer is yes. We need your subscription. We need to get to 33K tonight. Appreciate it. I just need to get there before Nate and Elise so I can rub it in her nose that, hey, I am the OG of YouTube. This is my playground. You're just a guest, Elise. Yeah. DB, your league night were incredible. Yeah, I had fun doing that. I started just setting up a camera, not miking up, and just showing the shots. And I asked, hey, should I mic up? And everyone's like, yeah. So I got mic'd up, and the rest is history. And my average went up 9 pins this season from miking up. I think because I was filming, I felt like I was more accountable. 32,933, we just jumped another one up. Appreciate it. If you're in the chat, let me know you just subscribed. Let me know you did it. I'll give you a shout out. Gladly do that. But yeah, being on camera, I felt like I was more focused. I felt like I was more accountable. And I'm not just playing up to the camera, but I actually wanted to do well for the team. We finished second in our league. It came down to a roll-off. It came down to the last game, almost the last frame. 32,934. We're jumping up again. Appreciate you guys jumping in the chat, subscribing. Someone said they had a sock puppet account, so appreciate all the subscribers I can get. We need to get to 33,000 tonight. Like I said, I'm going to keep on this live train until we get there, because The end result is going to be so sweet when I end the live and I go call Elise and let her know that I have gotten to 33,000 before her, like I said I would. I let her have the lead for a few days. She passed me in the last couple days, but she has not crossed the finish line yet. So 935. We're jumping up. We're just 65 new subscribers away. Share this feed with everybody. Tell them I'm going live right now. Tell them to subscribe. Appreciate all the help I can get. And yeah, we're getting to 33K tonight. And I appreciate everybody that's jumping on and subscribing to the Brunsnick channel. 936. We're 64 away now. Eric Murakami just started bowling again after 20 years. Got to get used to the new technology in bowling. Well, at least you didn't miss reactive resin altogether. So you at least know that reactive bowling balls exist. And the cover stocks have changed quite a bit, core technology a little bit, but the quality has gone up from 20 years ago. So there's always manufacturing improvements, and it's all finally really dialed in to the part where bowling balls are great, man. Patrick Cross, any plans to do an Arsenal build? Would love to see a 3-ball build for league. Could do it by brand or do a mix. That's a great idea. You know, leagues start up August, September, so I'm always looking for ideas to do new content. I have done league, or not league, but Arsenal building videos in the past with within the brands. They did okay. You know, the problem sometimes is, you know, the technology changes so often, and new bowling balls come and go. So sometimes, you know, those videos don't necessarily have what I call the evergreen factor. You know, they're not relevant, say, after a year, because, you know, I could be doing that video. Like, you can find Columbia Arsenal video I did. I don't think you can get any of those bowling balls still. So that's the only problem with doing like specific Arsenal videos, is that, you know, the lifespan of the ball. You know, most bowling balls are on the market for a year, maybe 2, and they're gone. And that's just the nature of it. You know, people want new, and that's what we make. We make new bowling balls. So I will look at doing Arsenal type building stuff. I think it's a great idea. Gripsack, show some skin, get the subs. Well, let's test out that theory. 32,936 at the moment. I mean, what do we want? Biceps? What do we want? No, like a little neck, little V-neck. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. Getting new subscribers. If it does jump up a bunch of spots, then I will be equally surprised as you. So, Jim, how about a 3-ball Arsenal? Yeah, I'll work on that for sure. You know, I think 3-ball Arsenal is pretty much what people bring in the league. Maybe they bring 2 bowling balls in and a spare ball. But I think 3, you know, put in a 3-ball roller. That's the way to go. Nuggy, thoughts on the Hammer Anger? If you're talking about the Anger Original or Anger Solid, I mean, the thoughts are a little different. The Anger Original one, the more shiny pearly one, was very clean. It needed a lot of dry boards. I thought it was a great dry lane ball. You know, even though it flares a lot, I don't think the cover was that responsive. And I thought that ball could potentially be a great burn ball. When there's a lot of dry, you need that ball not to overreact. Now, on the flip side, the Anger Solid is a great benchmark type ball that gets a little bit more length than, say, like a Hammerhead or GB5, stuff like that. I actually filmed a couple of videos I haven't posted yet. I did a comparison between Hammer Anger Solid and Hammerhead side by side, and then the Bubblegum Vibe, Arctic Vibe, Ocean Vibe comparison. So those will be out in the next week or so. So probably before the URD, but sometime soon. Jeff, is this his OnlyFans? It's like, no, I do not have an OnlyFans. This is my YouTube, baby. But we're doing a membership, not a membership drive. We're doing a subscriber drive. So if you're in the chat, you're just hanging out, listen to me yap on a Wednesday night. It's 8:15. We're trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. I'm at 32,936. What does all this mean? Why am I doing this? Because Nate and Elise are at 32,950 and change. So why do I have a problem with that? Well, the problem is that they've been bullying me, and they're going to get to 33,000 first. And I told them there's no way that's going to happen. I let them take the lead this week, and they are about 50 behind, or 50 but before hitting 33,000. I need 63. The number just went up, 32,937. Appreciate it. If you're in the chat and you just subscribed, let me know. I'll give you a shout out. DB, what happens when you take a black 78 up from box finish? You can make them smoother. So urethane bowling balls are notoriously hard to adjust the surface up. So polishing a 78D is very hard. So what's going to happen is you're going to take that friction out of play, that early friction, and you're going to really reduce the amount that ball hooks. So it actually becomes a really good dry bowling ball. Back in the day, if anybody remembers the Turbo from Ebonite, the two urethane, they had a red and a blue and a black. The black one was a solid sanded. They had a blue and a red one, I believe, and those were the pearly, shiny ones. So they were able to shine them back then, but they probably had different machinery, or the urethane was a little different material. But for anybody that's tried to polish a black 78D or try to polish a purple hammer, very hard to do. Takes forever, and you got to go through all the different steps bringing it up. But you can make it a lot more tame and a lot more for dry lanes. Greg Dunn, in your opinion, do you believe that there are too many bowling balls being released? Some bowling balls are great and overlooked because there's a more visually appealing ball. So my opinion on this is, from a manufacturing side, we got a plant that needs to be running. We need to make product. And as a consumer, more options should be amazing for you. You're not obligated to buy every single release. You walk into a pro shop and you might feel a little bit overwhelmed because, you're standing in front of a giant wall of bowling balls and say, which one should I get? Which one's going to work for me? And a lot of bowling balls will work for you. It just depends what you need and what conditions you're looking at for and where you like to play lanes. Do I think there's too many bowling balls being released? No, not really. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, we have 7 brands. So just speaking from the Brunswick side, we have 7 brands of bowling ball brands. So I think we're going to release something like 50-something bowling balls this year. And if you divide that into 7 brands, it's like 7 to 8 bowling balls a year per brand. If you look at that number, obviously hammer's going to be a little bit more because that's our most popular brand. And individually by brand, if you look at like some competitor brands, they release more bowling balls in that brand than we do per brand. So it's not a fair comparison. Obviously, we have the most bowling balls released every year because we have the most brands. So that's what it comes down to. But as a consumer, you should welcome all the different kind of options out there. All right, we're at 32,937. We got to get to 33K tonight. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Chris can honestly tell you thank you. I buy a lot of my equipment based on your reviews. I appreciate that. I hope you obviously find a lot of value out of the reviews. I hope the Specto data helps you out making decisions because I like to back up, more than what I'm just talking about. I like to use data and use science to the best of my ability to help that out. Alex, how she made me unsubscribe? Who are you talking? Oh, talking about Nate Elise? Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Like, Elise was on her Facebook telling people to unsubscribe from my channel. I would never tell people to unsubscribe from hers, but she was doing it in a joking manner, but people took her serious, and I lost about 20 subscribers over last weekend because people took her serious. They went to my YouTube and they hit unsubscribe. She's like, no way they did that. And I showed her the numbers. I looked. I'm like, look, there's a spike over the weekend, and it's not a coincidence. So, Alex, how did you not throw your shoulder out bowling on no oil? It's basically bowling on no oil is trying to throw hard and straight spares, basically. And 32,938, we just jumped another one up. It is a very hard challenge, and I think people might have got confused with, especially on Facebook and TikTok. They're like, why didn't you just move left? If there's little oil in the lane, move left and throw it more right. And what they don't understand is there's no oil on the lane, period. It's stripped. There's no oil. So moving left just makes the ball encounter friction further left on the lane, and the ball is going to roll out basically immediately because it's going to be like bowling on carpet. So in order to get the most entry angle, you got to start out by the gutter and get that ball to roll out into the pocket. The ball is going to roll out. It's just a matter of where you want it to roll out. If you start on like 20 board and try to throw it to the gutter. If you're lucky enough to even get there, the ball is going to roll out and go really flat. The only way you can get that ball driving through the pins is to create the most entry angle, and the only way you can create the most entry angle is by making that ball roll out as close to the gutter as possible. So that is the trick. 32,939. We just jumped up another one. Appreciate that. I do like doing the challenge. There was a lot of people in the comments, especially on Facebook, telling me what I should have done. And I'm probably going to make a follow-up video with their comments and trying exactly what they're talking about, because they've obviously never bowled on no oil. It is an incredibly hard thing to do. And I'm just happy I did not leave a 10 pin to try to shoot cross lane and get that ball to go straight, because that is a challenge. 32,940. We are almost there. We are 40% the way there. I started this with 32,900. We have gained 40 new subscribers. That's incredible. We're about an hour into this. I know we're going to get there. I'm going to have to turn a light on in my office here soon enough. I'm probably going to do that right now. So just give me 1 sec. Much better, right? Yeah, so 32,940. We need 60 more subscribers. If you're chilling in the chat, let me know you have subscribed. I'll give you a shout out. We need 60 more tonight. We need to beat Nate and Elise. They think they're going to get to 33,000 subs before me. I just lost a sub. What did I do? I turned on the light, and now you see me better, and now I got an unsubscribe. 32,939. Well, we're going to get to 33,000 tonight. I know it's going to happen. 10 back. What's in the case on top of the Curio? That is a PBA Tour Visiball in the case. It's a PBA ready to roll, and I had it signed by some of our pro staff at the time. So it's got some signatures on it, some of the greats on there. I don't remember who all signed it, but I think I got that around 2010, 2011. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, I have that in the case. Very cool collectible. All the Brunswick staffers at the time. Obviously, some have changed and moved on, but I'm sure Parker's on there. I'm sure Walter's on there. All the greats. Shelby Z2910. My wife's ring finger is about a 1/4 inch lower than her middle. She always complained that house balls hurt. She can only throw 6 pounds. Got her ball drilled to her hand. That's probably the best thing. You know, house balls, they fit everybody, but they don't fit anybody. That's always the analogy I use. You know, they're drilled oversized with pitches that are kind of in the middle, because you got to think lefties and righties have to throw them. So they have to fit kind of everybody. Yeah. Broken Stones. Have you ever bowled on PBA Steelsmith 42 pattern? If so, any tips? I have never bowled on that pattern. I have bowled on probably patterns that are similar. And with a 42-foot pattern, that's kind of in that range where it might play out. It might play more in the start. I'm not sure on the volume. I'm not sure what the pattern is altogether. But the whole idea of those patterns is you're probably going to want to start in the track with something with surface. See what the ball does, you know, and then make your adjustments from there in practice. But, yeah, I've never bowled on it, so I don't have a whole lot of information for you there. Bad Dog Sports, still in the chat. Appreciate it. Columbia 300 was my favorite line. Can't wait for you to throw that pulse. Already have my Pro Shop guy pre-order it. Well, good. I'm going to have that video at the end of the month. I'm not sure what day. We're going to start posting those videos on the 29th. So July 29th, you'll start seeing all the influencers that get the bowling balls start posting about all the August releases, because those come out August 14th, if my memory serves me. Frank, are all your coworkers subscribed? That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not at work right now. I didn't go door to door. Actually, today was kind of a ghost town because most of the office is at Bowl Expo. Bowl Expo is done today, I think. And a lot of people were probably taking today off for holiday because we're already getting Thursday and Friday off. So we had a video shoot this morning. So my small crew, 3 guys total, filmed some hammer bowling balls in Grand Rapids, and then we came back to an office that was empty, which was kind of nice. It was quiet, but very empty. Was able to get the final work done before I had to go home, and now I start my vacation for a week now. So we get 2 days off for July 4th, and I'm having vacation for the most of next week. So, SB Knoll, hello Brunsnick, hello SB Knoll. 10 back, solid theorem, excited for that big time. Yeah, me too. I've seen it go down the lane. I haven't thrown it yet. I haven't thrown any of the August balls yet. But the theorems were very popular. The original one I really loved a lot. I still have it. I still have the Theorem Pearl. I actually probably had my high series of the year with the Theorem Pearl. I think I shot like 760 with it. I could be wrong. Maybe it was higher when I shot 300. I don't remember. Espinol, will the new Ingersoll work after a hammerhead or too close? So I actually have a comparison video that I filmed on those two balls specifically. So I wanted to see, because, you know, hammerhead just came out earlier in the year, and then we come out with Ingersoll. So the numbers are completely different. If you look at the RGs on those, like it's a very high RG on the Ingersoll versus a pretty low RG on the hammerhead. So comparing them, I did see a difference. The Ingersoll is longer. Is it enough to warrant having both and going 1-2 punch? Debatable. I would say probably not out of box. They're probably too close for most people to see a difference. So if you were to maybe bring the surface up, or maybe shine the Ingersoll, you'd probably get more of that separation. But I think you'd be better off going to something pearly shiny after that. Tracy S., what was your favorite ball in the 90s? I actually threw a lot of Columbia in the 90s. Columbia in the West Coast was very popular. Threw a lot of Brunswick too, you know, fire quantums. I threw some quantums, threw some zones. But I threw a lot of Columbia 300 in the 90s. The Beast series were my favorite. If I had to pin it down, just pick one ball, the Purple Pearl Beast and the Super Beast. I think the Super Beast probably came out late 1999, maybe 2000, right around that time. But the Beast series were some of my favorites. And if I had to pick, probably the Super Beast. That was such a fun ball. Fire Quantum, that's way up there too. DB, did you ever throw the Widow Ghost Pearl? Good question. I might have had one. I don't remember. I think I did, but I did not review it. I know that was the second Widow we came out with once we took the brand over, but I did throw it. I don't remember much about it other than it was a little smoother than, say, a 2.0 hybrid. So, Troy, I appreciate you, Nick. I'm a hammerhead all the way, and I appreciate you, Troy. Hope you subscribed. We're at 32,940. We got that subscriber back, and we're trying to get to 33,000 tonight. I'm going to stay live until we get there. I appreciate it. We got 69 people watching live right now. Nice. And the whole point of this is to get to 33,000 before Nate and Elise. Mostly just Elise, because Elise has been bullying me. She's been talking my ear off for the last month, saying, Nick, we're going to get to 33,000 before you. We're going to pass you. And that's all well and good. They're going to pass me. But I want to have 33,000 before they do. They can have the rest of them from here on out. I don't care. After 33,000, after this live, I'm going to make a call to Elise and say, hey, what are you doing? And she's going to be like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I just got off a live stream. About what? I was like, oh, go check my subscriber count because it's going to be at 33,000. And they're going to be sitting at 32,950 or so. That's where they're at right now. Before this live stream, they were at 32,952, I believe. We're at 32,941. So we're about to pass them. So 32,941, we just gained another one. I really appreciate that. Joshua Gilbert said, hello from North Dakota. What's up, North Dakota? Michigan representing here. Lead 'em. Hey, Brunsnick's back. That's right. I am back. That was my intro in my very first video that I got back in 2023 when I started up the channel again. And I said, what's up, guys? Brunsnick's back. And it stuck with it. So 32,942. We're going to get to 33K before them. We're going to do it tonight. It's going to be sweet. And I'm going to celebrate by calling Elise They're in Louisiana right now, finishing up bowling nationals. I think Nate's bowling. She's not bowling. And I'm going to call and say, hey, I want to congratulate you on the 33,000 subscriber race. I want to also congratulate you on finishing second where you belong. So 32,943, we're picking up the pace. Love you guys. Really appreciate the support. I don't do a lot of lives. I'm having a lot of time, good time here doing Q&A with you. I like doing this kind of stuff, and this was for a very special cause. And getting to 33K before them is going to make my night. And I'm going to give away a couple of shirts, and I will have that Woo Box link in the community tab once we get there. So after that, I'm going to call Elise, tell her great news. Got to 33K before them. Appreciate it. And then I'll get that link up for a couple of shirts. You can win a cool shirt like Putt, Purple Up the Twig, if you're a urethane fan like me. Got a bunch of other cool shirts on there we're going to give away. DB, your reviews are the best. I learned something new each time, and I really appreciate that, DB. You've been a long-time supporter. You're a member of the crew, and yeah, I really appreciate all the times you show up in the chat, which is every single time I do a review. We do a premiere. It's always a great time. We got a lot of returning folks. They always come in. They always tune in. They always chat. I like doing the premieres. I have a good time doing all that. And I'm glad you learned from my videos. I'm glad that you can get something from them. So, Stephanie, I wish our lanes had Specto. Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap. So having Specto put in, it's a I don't know what it costs. I couldn't tell you, but it is definitely an investment, for centers or for a pro shop that wants to do lessons. But having that kind of tracking information is really cool and helpful. Especially on my end, we have it in house. We were one of the first centers, I guess, to get it, if you want to call it, at Brunswick. And having that information in the videos, I think sets my videos apart from a lot of other ones. Obviously I work at Brunswick, so I get a little bit of insider information. I've been doing this a long time. I've had pro shops, I've done coaching, so I try to incorporate all that into videos, and I hope you guys really appreciate that. So I love doing videos. We're at 32,943. 32,945, we just jumped up 2. We're gonna get there. 33,000 tonight. We're gonna have a celebration tonight. I'm having a great time. And I've said this before, I appreciate everybody who's ever subscribed to the channel. I probably have 32,900 more subscribers than I deserve. The support I get from you guys is monumental, and I appreciate it. I hope you guys know that. So, Mr. Mice, late to the show. Has anybody asked about any future collabs coming? No. No one has. 32,946. So I know the hype wants to come back up. You got to remember, like, a lot of these influencers live all across the country, and I'm in Michigan. So last year, Charles from the hype came up in April, I believe. Sarah Bowles came up over the summer, and Dasha, she is pretty much on tour. They might be on break right now. I saw her over the weekend. But she wants to do some more videos with me. We're going to work on a pet peeve part 3 video, since the first 2 did very well. And we're going to be posting those. We're coming up with ideas. We're jotting down all the funny stuff. But yeah, we got those 3. I believe Elise is going to come up at some point. So even though I'm in competition with her right now to get to 33,000 subscribers before she does, she's ahead of me right now. She's at 32,950 and change. That might be going up by the minute. I don't know. But I went live to ask for your help to get my channel to 33 before hers. I will celebrate by calling her and then giving away a couple shirts. I will have a Woo Box link in the community tab. So if you're subscribed, you will see the post and see the link, and then get entered for your chance for a couple of shirts. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give away a couple of shirts. So, here we go. Alex, I drilled up an archetype hybrid recently and have been striking like a madman. Very underrated ball. Yeah, so what people don't know, and this is a fun story I always like to say, is, we get honor score submissions to all the brands. So all the brands, they get submission scores. And right now, obviously, Hammer is top dog because there's so many Hammer balls out there. 32,947, we're jumping up again. So the most honor scores come in from Hammer because that's where the most bowling balls are sold. But what people don't know is the number 2 brand for honor scores that come in is not one you'd guess. It's track. Track bowling balls are number 2 from the numbers that come in. So consistently across the board, it happens that way. Hammer number 1, track number 2. There's so many good bowling balls. I can probably, the Theorem probably had just as many honor scores out there as maybe a Black Widow. I don't know that number, heads up. But the Theorem was by far and away the number 1 most honor score shot ball. You know, and there were some archetype bowling balls in there. You know, that's a stronger ASIM where the Theorem was a little smoother, so people used them more in League. I think maybe a lot of the archetypes were just too strong for people to use in League. Even the hybrid one that was a little shiny. So, let's see what else we got here. DB, I've actually never watched Nate. So Nate is a great bowler. He actually was a college player and was a Brunswick staffer, pro staffer, when he first went pro. You know, he's since switched, and that's fine. But he throws Storm now, and Elise throws everything. She's free agent, and so she's been reviewing a lot of the Brunswick stuff. So when Elise reached out to me, you know, we got her set up doing videos, and, you know, she gets all the bowling balls, so she does reviews. Very popular channel, but not as popular as what my channel's tonight. So we're looking to get to 33,000. For everybody just tuning in, everybody just joining, I've been live for an hour 20. And I said, we're not leaving this live until we get to 33,000 tonight. We're doing it. We're going to get there. I need your help. If you're in the chat, you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Need your help. Appreciate it. Once we get to 33,000, I'm going to call Elise and congratulate her on finishing second in our race to 33,000. They're at 32,950 and change. We're about to pass them. We're about, last I checked, 5-6 away from their number. And they're right now, they're in Louisiana right now. They're just finishing up bowling. And they're probably at dinner right now, probably having a nice meal, probably having, you know, talking about how they can get people to try to unsubscribe to my channel. But little do they know, I'm up here hustling on a Wednesday night. It's 8:38, I've been live for 81 minutes. I've gotten 47 new subscribers so far, and we need 53 more. We're going to get there. We're going to have a push tonight. We're going to get there. And also tonight, Clayton Kershaw is 3 strikeouts away from hitting 3,000 strikeouts. He's pitching against the White Sox tonight at home, so it should happen. 32,948. We just jumped up another one. If you're in the chat, give me a shout out that you just sub, and I will give you a shout out. Be glad to. Joshua Gilbertson, are there any particular balls that work better for full roller layouts? Well, it depends. I mean, so really with full roller layouts, you're kind of, you know, stuck into that particular layout. You know, since you can't use extra holes, there's really only one layout you can use. So the ball is going to be the factor in how the ball is going to react. In my experience from drilling those balls back for full rollers when I had my pro shops, I would say that asymmetric balls nowadays are probably going to be better for full rollers. Just in general, if you're looking for something more smooth, then I would say, you know, your typical symmetrical solids and benchmark balls are going to be great. But since we can't use extra holes anymore, I would say asymmetric balls are going to be probably the better choice for full roller layouts for the typical bowler. So, you know, not a whole lot of rev rate, maybe more speed dominant. And, you know, it just depends how you bowl. Let's see what we got here. Jose, Paragon Shadow, 450 revs, a layout recommend. Yeah, I mean, you got a high rev rate. I don't know what your speed is. I don't do a whole lot of specific layouts for people just because I don't know exactly how people bowl. But given your rev rate, you're not going to need a very strong layout. You might even want to consider drilling that pin down to try to take some of the core strength away, you know, depending on your ball speed. But if your ball speed is high, I would probably go with like a 5 to 5.5 inch pin from your PAP and put that mass bias, probably 60 degrees, 50 degrees, somewhere in there, and just let that ball be strong. So the ball's going to be strong and rolly, and hope that works. But that's a strong ball, and you put a lot of revs on it, so I don't think you need a whole lot of help from the layout. Bad Dog Sports, I probably bought about 10 to 12 bowling balls because of your reviews. Put yourself in for a raise. I'm gonna screenshot that. I'm gonna bring it to my boss's office when I get back to work, and I'll be like, you know what? Here's my here's my receipts. I need a raise. Uh, Honestly, Brunswick treats me very well. They always have. I've been employed by Brunswick since 2010. They've always taken care of me. The benefits are amazing. It's always the company I wanted to work for ever since probably 2002, 2003 when I first signed to staff. And I really fell in love with the Brunswick brand. So I've never asked for a raise since I've been there. They've always kind of just given me one, and I really appreciate all the benefits and all the things that come with my job. I have a very cool job. I work for the company I wanted to basically have my bowling existence with. A lot of days it does not feel like work because I do what I love. So they treat me well. I'm well taken care of, and I don't think I need to ask for a raise. But if they want to give me a raise anyway, I will gladly take it because my pups, they love the finer life. They have great chew toys, and I want to get them the finest food. And they are senior pups, so Jackson's here taking a nap. He is very uninterested in what I got going on here with this live stream, trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. We're at 32,948. I got the live counter right here off the screen. I'm waiting for that to go pop up. We're trying to beat Nate and Elise. They're at 32,950. We're racing to get to 33,000. That is the ultimate goal. That's all we need. We need 52 more subscribers tonight. If we can get there, we're going to get there. 32,949. Appreciate whoever just subscribed. If you're in here, let me know because I will gladly give you a shout out on the live stream. I owe it to you. Steph, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. And I know you won a wheel spin a while back and got a shirt. So I hope you wear your perception versus reality shirt. I think that's the one you got. So Troy just got a Pure Envy to add to my bag. Pure Envy Black Widow 3.0 Purple Slammer. That is a bag that means business. I like it. So you definitely like the strong balls. You definitely like the urethane. I like where you went with that. So if you're in the chat, you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Trying to get to 33,000 tonight. We're not going to stop till we do it. So let's hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sam Stevens, I heard the Nationals will be back in Baton Rouge in 6 years. It's possible. It is very possible. 32,950. I heard the same thing while I was there. And part of the reason why they want to go back is because the entries are up this year. And I think it's a lot to do with location. People say, oh, Baton Rouge is not close to anything and so far away from the West Coast. But a lot of the tournaments are closer to the West, Vegas and Reno, in the state of Nevada. So people drive over from California. But it didn't really affect anything. I think a lot of people were driving into Louisiana, at least what I heard. 32,951. We just jumped up another one. Appreciate whoever that was that just subscribed, watched this, and just subscribed. Appreciate you. I flew in. It was an easy flight, maybe a 2.5 hour flight down to Dallas to start, and then a little puddle jumper over to there, and then Atlanta on the way back. So easy flights in. So, and people drove, like all people drove. Everybody drove from Texas that I knew about, and I heard a lot of people from the Northeast drove in too. So, all right, to the left is Wald. What's the number right now? 32,951. We're hot on the trail. When I started this live stream, I had 32,900. I asked for 100 subscribers. We are more than half the way there. 32,951. When I started this, Nate and Elise were at 32,952. And by all accounts, they're probably going to get there tomorrow. So we're going to get there tonight. And I'm going to call Elise after this, and I'm going to tell her congratulations. And she's going to be like, congratulations for what? And then I'm going to send her the screenshot of right here when we get to 33,000 when it rolls over, and say, thank you for playing. This is my playground. You're just a guest. Catfish Reaper, are you going to use a Black Widow 3.0 on League, or have you used it already? That's a good question. That ball came out in 2024, beginning of 2024. I'm almost certain I used it in League, but I wasn't recording League videos then. So I wasn't doing any League. 32,952. We just jumped another one. Everybody's pitching in. I really appreciate everybody who is coming to the chat. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to get to 33,000 tonight. I'm going to give away a couple shirts. I'll have the giveaway link in the community tab. All right, Michael Javier. So yeah, going back to the 3.0. I have used it in League. I wasn't recording. I don't know that I'll go back to it. You know, I like to use newer stuff, and when new balls come out, which happens every month, I'm going to try to use the new balls in League. And people actually got a lot of more information out of that because it's like a real world review. So I agree, because, you know, in the 6-lane house, I'm throwing it for X amount of shots in the different zones. I get a short window of where I get to see that ball in action. So when I get it out in the real world, bowling on, you know, 5-man teams, you get a lot more of the breakdown and transition, and I get to witness that and see how the balls actually perform in real time. So, all right, Michael Javier. Aloha, Nick. No worries. You'll get there very soon. Your channel always has great, varied content that appeals to more people. Keep up the excellent work. I appreciate you, Michael, and I appreciate you also being a member of the crew. You are a longtime supporter, and you're always in the chat and all the premieres, helping me out, talking, giving me kind words, and I really appreciate that. I hope you know that. So we're at 32,952 at the moment. Please subscribe if you haven't already. One of my taglines. Those are the other things that, you know, that I've done over the years of doing these videos, is some sayings have just stuck and kind of carried on. So like, what's up, guys? Brunsnick's back. And then talking about Specto, you know, with Specto running, of course. And before we get to all that, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So a lot of those things, I like consistency. So I've watched so much YouTube over the years, and the channels that I really like are very consistent with exactly how they intro their videos, exactly some of the key things that they say. They might have a tagline or like a thing that they're known for, and people really attach to that because they know it's coming. They know the what's up, guys. Brunsnick's back. 32,953. We just jumped up another one. The left is walled. I just gave you 3 more subs because I got some spare accounts. I appreciate that so much. That's one way to do it, right? Just start making Google accounts and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Alan Regis, if you could make a 6-ball arsenal, both from new and older balls over history, what would you choose? You know what? At that point, I don't even think the whole basis of the arsenal, how it all works together, is going to be a factor in my choices, because I'm just going to pick the 6 favorite balls of all time. And that would probably be the original Inferno, Zone Classic, Red Zone. That would be 3 of them. I got to have Purple Hammer. So that's already, what, 4? 4 of them already? All right. If I had to pick another ball from any time, I'm probably going to go with Fire Quantum. You got to have a Quantum in there, and I got to have probably a Rhino Pro. So I would probably pick the Rhino Pro Teal. And I like the remake just as much as the original. I had an original back in the day, and that thing was amazing. That thing cracked, though, and I kept plugging it to fix it around the fingers, and it kept re-cracking. So I finally had to ditch it and get rid of it. So, yeah, I would just pick 6 of my favorite bowling balls. Kay says, please tell your boss to HK22 the Hammer Diesel and bring that bad boy back. Well, it's possible. It's possible. There are some throwbacks from time to time in the Hammer line. Not often, but there are throwbacks, and you never know. One day it might happen. You never know. Don Webster. Nick, what is your opinion on Battle of the Brands? Well, I think it was nice that they supported the players as far as, you know, paying out the teams, and everybody made a little something. I think it supported the bowlers quite well. I think as far as from a brand standpoint, did I think it helped or hurt anything? No. I didn't actually watch hardly any of the shows. The team stuff just doesn't appeal to me so much. But, you know, having the brands kind of collaborate and make teams was a little bit of an effort, because we had to switch a lot of guys around from different brands to make it work. So we had to not drop guys, but transfer guys off the brands that we weren't going to register into that Battle of the Brands. We only picked, a small handful. We picked 4 brands, and those are the ones that we picked. So some of the guys that were on the brands that we're no longer picking, like Columbia, for instance, we had to put Jacob on a different team, Kevin on a different team. So everybody got shuffled to make our teams, because some of the brands we couldn't even fill a full team, a full roster. So that's where the issue came in. If we had all of our 7 brands, we don't even have that many pro staffers. We wouldn't have been able to fill teams. So what do we do then? With an exempt field of X amount of bowlers, which wasn't that many, like 40 something, 50 tops, and then made it like 60 total. There's not enough bowlers to go around. So, it was a cool idea. I don't know if they'll keep doing it. I'm not sure, but we'll see. DB looking forward to the comparison videos. So I did a comparison video versus Anger Solid, Hammerhead, and then the vibes. So the Bubblegum, Arctic, and the Ocean Vibe. I'll have those videos out before the URD, before next Thursday. I'm not sure when. I am starting vacation right after I get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. We're battling Nate and Elise, right? Mostly Elise. 32,954 just turned over. We got the live ticker right next to me. We're seeing the jump. I appreciate all your help. I'm going to go live until we get there. That's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to take questions. We're going to get this party going. I'm going to give away 2 shirts. Also, 2 shirts. We're going to have that Woo Box link in the community tab after. So once I get settled in and I make my call to Elise and congratulate her on finishing second, I am going to set up that Woo Box for everybody. If you're a subscriber, you'll be able to see it. If not, you're not going to be able to see it. So please subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who's popped into the chat, said hello, gave me support, hit the subscribe button. We're at 32,954. The goal is 33,000. Michael Smith, when you are drilling a vent hole, how do you ensure it intersects your finger hole? It was some trial and error. So, based on the angles of what you see when I'm drilling it, it looks like I'm drilling straight down. But the ring finger is pitched, okay? So if we're looking at the top down, so here's the ball, top view. Here's the ring finger. It's pitched 3/4 reverse. So if it was 0-0, it would be like that. If it was what it is, 3/4 reverse, it's this way, okay? So then I'm drilling the vent hole over in this direction right here, okay? And I'm pitching it a 1/2 inch forward towards the ring finger. So it's really dummy proof the way I do it. It's going to intersect. Where it's going to intersect is based on how far away I put it. So roughly I put it about 1.5 inches away, and it intersects it just below the knuckle, just where you want it. That way it allows air to come out, so it's not, and I don't feel it when I put my finger in there. But it's a trial and error if you're doing it on your own. I used to do it by hand a long time ago, and then I'm like, why can't I just use the press? And that's what I started doing. 32,955. We just jumped another one. We're going to get to 33,000 tonight. It's going to happen. It's going to be so sweet when I call Elise and say, hey, sorry, I got the 33,000 before you. My fans are better than your fans. Nana boo boo. Stick your head in doo doo. But yeah, it's trial and error. So if, say, you're drilling into a 0-0 hole, ideally you could probably go, if you're using a drill press, you could probably go like 1 inch away, pitch it a 1/2 towards the hole, and you're going to hit it. It's pretty easy to do. So as long as you're pitching it towards where you're trying to hit, you'll eventually hit it. When I do it by hand, there's sometimes I missed because I didn't get the angle right, because you're just kind of guessing. But on the drill press, it's literally easy to do. So I'm behind in the chat. How behind in the chat am I? Do I get all right, I'll fast track it here. All right. Quentin, what are you talking about today? Talking about the subscribers. We got to get to 33K. Talking about anything that anybody wants to talk about. And Jose, what's up, Nick? Got a subscriber all the way from Hawaii. Appreciate you. Really appreciate you. I love Hawaii. I've been there many times. I know Michael Javier is from Hawaii. Aloha, mahalo, all that good stuff. I love it. I want to visit again. Only problem now is my flight from California was only 6 hours. Now I live in Michigan. That's like an 11-hour flight. So I got to get up the guts to do that trip again. All right, I'm going to scroll through the chat a little faster so I can catch up. All right. Mr. West, your videos have helped my bowling game so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that my videos can help you out and maybe help your purchasing options. Decisions are hard when trying to buy a new ball. And I realize that. So I try to make my videos as unbiased as possible, even though I'm an employee of Brunswick. But I try to support it with the data, and I try to be honest with what I'm seeing in the ball. Some bowling balls I really love. Some bowling balls I struggle with. And when I struggle with them, I'm going to talk about strengths and weaknesses of a ball and what you could possibly do when you're struggling with a ball in order to not struggle as much. What you can do, surface changes, hand changes, speed, all that stuff. Walter Gray, is the Hammer Effect Tour Close in Motion Envy Tour black? Yes. It was actually designed, 32956, just jumped up another one. It was designed to be a replacement. So the Envy Tour is now discontinued. And so the Effect Tour was the ball that was exactly to replace it. So yes, they were absolutely the ball to replace that ball and be the same. Max Boy, how would you bowl on Sports Shot like Highway to Hell? It's medium heavy pattern. I don't know that pattern personally. I always start with more surface than I think I'm going to need. I'm going to start typically with urethane on a lot of patterns. I'm just going to see if it's in play, if I can get it to kind of slow down in the right spots. Medium heavy pattern, I mean, it just depends on the length. Highway to Hell could be a long pattern, short pattern, I'm not sure. But if it's long, you're pretty much going to be playing surface in the track, breaking them down and then moving in. If it's shorter pattern, you're going to start out by the gutter. All right, let's see. See what we got here. Walter Gray, again, Vaporize, Hammer Effect. In your opinion, the difference? Vaporize is cleaner. Hammer Effect is stronger off the spot. Vaporize is longer and more sweepy. Hammer Effect is a lot sharper off that spot. Let's see what we got here. See if I can get caught up here. Do I test balls on string pin or free fall? I test balls on free fall only. We might get string pin in that center soon. And I'm going to do a string pin video at some point. There is a center about an hour from here that has full string pin on the brand new Boost machines that I'm going to test on. So I will do that video in the near future. I don't know exactly when. Would you recommend the record on a high friction house? I don't even know what that is. Sorry. Would you say what would you say the life expectancy of a bowling ball is? Troy Nolan. So a bowling ball can last for a long time, and you got to do the maintenance, just like a car. A car can last 500,000 miles if you take care of them. You do the oil changes, you change the brakes, you do this. So how you take care of a bowling ball matters, because, the bowling balls take a beating. They absorb oil, they get beat up in the back, so they got to need constant help with resurfacing, getting the oil out, and also maintenance in the thumb hole and the finger hole. So you got to change your grips, got to change your tape, got to keep it all clean. So with maintenance, they can last you years and years. Most people get new bowling balls. They just drill new bowling balls and that's the end of it, and they get rid of their old ones. So that's kind of where the game has gone, and that's fine. We make new bowling balls all the time. You can always expect something new to come out. But there's always people you see with like old zones from the 90s that still use them. They're sometimes in good shape. Sometimes they don't even bother with doing any of the maintenance, and they haven't realized that the ball doesn't hook as much anymore. But let's see if we can get this caught up a little faster here. Cheetah, do you think the Columbia will ever release a new version of the Boss? I really hope so, because I shot some big numbers with that ball. I have a 300, and my high, that wasn't my high series. I shot an 806 and an 826 with the Boss. So I'm a big fan of that ball. A couple 300s with it. Great bowling ball. I still have it. It's in my garage. Tracy S., what are your thoughts on string pins? So string pins are here to stay. There's going to be a lot more centers that are going to come getting them. A lot of FEC centers because, the cost to maintain them, the cost to work on them, the cost to operate them is a lot less. And they don't break down as much. There's only a quarter of the parts in a string pin machine versus like a GSX. And also liability. They don't have to have as much insurance when they have string pins versus free fall because there's hardly a way to get injured in one of those things. Let's see what we got here. Steph, I'm about to go grab hubby's phone and sub. That's the spirit. That's the whole thing. We're trying to get to 33,000 tonight. We're at 32,956. So if you're in the chat, just tuning in, seeing what the heck I'm doing live. I never go live. Why is he live? Why is he talking to us right now? I need to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. tonight. We need to get to 33. I need to beat Nate and Elise. They're at 32, 950 something. So we're about tied with them right now. We're about to pass them, and we're going to hit 33,000 tonight. I'm going to call her after, congratulate her on finishing in second. Then I'm going to give away a couple of shirts to subscribers. Michael Smith, is Bowl Expo something you would recommend attending if you're just a general super fan of the game? I mean, if you're going to go once, it would probably be cool. It's more geared towards proprietors and pro shops more than anything, but there are a lot of pros there that you can meet and greet with. I think for a one-time thing, it would be cool to go, just get a day pass and go. I would say, yeah, it's something you can do, but they're definitely more geared towards pro shops and proprietors. DB, what does Crown Factory Compound do for the ball? So Crown Factory Compound is basically a polish. And what the grit comes out to, after we surface prep is usually around 4,000 grit. I know that Ron Hicklin at Creating the Difference does all the scans. And a lot of those bowling balls come out around 4,000, 5,000 when they do the compound. So it's just a grittier polish than a, factory finish high gloss. So high gloss is really, really shiny and smooth. And the compound has actually still got some cutting agent to it. And it makes it polished, but not as crazy shiny. Michael, can you live stream your call to Elise? I should be able to FaceTime her. That would be funny, right? Just do a FaceTime on my computer. But we're at 32,956. We're 44 away. I would love to do that, actually. I'm on my phone right now doing the live stream, but I have my computer up here right here. And I could probably do that. I can probably live stream her while we're doing this. I just wouldn't be able to get her on the show unless I invited her to be on, which I think I can do, but that would be hilarious. Pete, what are some of the top Radical balls in terms of honor scores? That is a good question. Off the top of my head, I could probably go in and look even what we have in the can right now. I know a lot of what I saw was No Doubt. No Doubt had a lot of them. Saw a couple from Max Bias. I see more with asymmetrical balls on the Radical side. Nothing really. It's kind of spread out. There's not like in track. I know the theorem is like number one. In Hammer, Black Widows, any Black Widows number one. So with Radical, it's more spread out. I think a lot of people throw a lot of different bowling balls in that brand. No one ball really stood out. I know the Torpedo's been seeing some numbers, and that ball's been seeing some scores, but nothing really stands out as far as like way above everything else. All right, let's see what else we got here. Gabriel, love the shirt. Yep, we're going to be giving away a couple of these tonight. Not tonight, but we're going to have the live stream party ending at 33,000 subscribers. I'm at 32,955. Need 45 more to get there. We've been on live for about 100 minutes. I started this with 32,900. They were 50 subscribers ahead of me. Nate and Elise were 50 subscribers ahead of me. I believe we've caught up to them now. They were at 32,952 when I went live. We're probably head-to-head, but they don't know I'm going live. They don't know that I'm going to beat them tonight. They have no clue. It's going to be awesome. But get Phil online. He's at Bowl Expo right now. We're supposed to do our podcast on Wednesdays, but he's in Washington, D.C., so couldn't get him on the show this week. And next week I'm on vacation. We're going to try to work around that and get a show for next week. We'll see. City of Trees, would a new snapshot be a good replacement for my Deadly Rattler? No, it would not. And this is why. Because the new snapshot is a higher flaring ball, and the Deadly Rattler was a lower flaring ball. So you're going to need something that doesn't flare as much. You're going to need something that's in the 030s differential. And Radical just doesn't have that right now. If you're looking at something in that range, drawing a blank right now, but something in the 035s, look at the Ivory Rhino Pro. That could be a good one in that range. Maybe a little higher RG, but I think it's going to be kind of close to what you're looking for. All right, let's go down here. We need a live stream with Elise. Maybe. Like I said, if we get there, 32,957, we just jumped another one. Eric, what's your thoughts on pin and palm layouts? Okay, so I did a video on this, and pin and palm layouts, I think for most people are dead. They're not useful at all anymore, and the reason for that is because you cannot use the extra hole. which made the whole difference in that ball. So using the extra hole will increase the differential, raise the bow tie, and you generally make it more inverted, which made that ball do what it did. Pin and palm now without it, it just doesn't work the same because you're not taking out that mass with that extra hole down below. So Michael Smith, what has it been like working with Mo and Phil over the years? Well, unfortunately, Mo's no longer with us. Mo is always very smart, and doing videos with him and working with him, he likes to have things his way. When he's ready to film, he's ready to film. Let's go. When he's not ready to film, he's going to go do whatever he wants. So getting him in that right motivation, getting him in the right frame of mind. But I learned a lot from Mo. And the other thing is I had a lot of fun teasing Mo over the years because I knew what to say in order to kind of, get under his skin a little bit and get a reaction out of him. So I always try to do that. And working with Phil, I never met Phil until 2013 when Radical and Brunswick partnered together and started manufacturing. And he's become a very close friend over the last, 5-6 years. So it started with just phone calls kind of every week or something like that. Then it became phone calls and text every day. And now, we're 2 years plus on a podcast together. And, we bowled nationals and hung out and had dinner a bunch of times. And we are great friends. He likes to copy me with what kind of cars he gets. He got a Mercedes after I got a Mercedes because he liked mine so much. So now we'll see if he gets a Tesla. We'll see. I don't know. All right. Josh White already subbed a while back. Sorry, bro. Hey, I appreciate the subscription. I appreciate the support all that time a while back. I'm trying to get to 33K tonight. So if you're in the chat, just tuning in, wondering what the heck I'm doing, we're getting to 33K tonight. That's what we're doing. And we're going to get there before Nate and Elise get there because Elise has been bullying me on social media. She even told people to unsubscribe to my channel to try to beat me. But I think we just passed them, and we're going to get to 33,000 tonight. We just hit 32,958. Whoever that was, appreciate you. If you're in the chat, hit me up. I'll give you a shout out. Bad Dog Sports shared this live stream on my channel. Want to help you get that 33. I really appreciate that. Yeah, tell people about it. If you got social media following of any kind, share my feed tonight. I'm only live right now on YouTube. I got my live stream counter over here, 32,958. We only need 42 left. That's it. We're going to do this. 32,959. Every click over, that's one more subscriber closer to the goal of 33. And then I'm going to call Elise. Maybe I should do it live. We'll see. And call her up on FaceTime and maybe invite her into the live stream. That would be fun, right? As she joins, as I'm 2 hours into this thing almost. And be like, hey, I want you to celebrate with me. Ball giveaway would get some. To explain some recent videos. Yeah, see, she's been giving away bowling balls. She's been doing all sorts of things and tricks up her sleeve to try to buy subscribers. She's even dropped to the lowest joking to unsubscribe from my channel, and people did last weekend. 20 unsubscriptions last weekend. And I told her, I was like, you might have been joking, but people took you seriously on Facebook. So I told her that. She felt really bad about it. So this is how we're going to get back and get the last laugh. All right. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, explains her recent videos. Absolutely. SB Noel, thank you for the answer. I always appreciate the questions. I appreciate your support and being a valued crew member. So, Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Grandpa Baggins, you're here. What would the troublemaker solid be better for tournament ball than league? Yeah, I mean, for most people, you're going to use a troublemaker solid when you want to kind of control the pattern, and you don't really need to do that on league patterns unless you throw it very hard and you are speed dominant. If you don't have a lot of revs, that could be a great ball to start with where you can blend out the wet dry. If you're bowling on a fresh house pattern, absolutely troublemaker solid could be a ball you throw there. Bacon Double, what do you think of the new company Swag? They're not actually new. They've been out for a while. They're just kind of rebranding right now. But, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about them, and I don't throw their stuff, so I'm not sure. Can't really comment on that. Oh, man. Frank, as a junior bowler, who did you idolize? Man, that was Amleto Monticelli. That was my favorite bowler growing up. I liked Pete Weber, too, growing up. I like George Branham the third. Let's see. I like Dave Ozio a lot too, but as far as all-time favorites, Amleto was my number one. He was my favorite to watch bowl on Saturdays. After I was done bowling my junior league, come rushing home, turn on ABC, and watch Amleto because he was awesome. Little guy. I was a little dude, and I saw him bowl, and I wanted to bowl just like him. And I got got to work with him. You know, when he signed back on with Brunswick in 2019, I got to work with him firsthand, became friends, and Leto's the man, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. So, who else came here from Bad Dog? Hey, I appreciate Bad Dog, man. I appreciate what you did. We're at 32,959. We're trying to get to 33,000. We only need 41 more. We're passing Elise tonight. We're getting to 33. She's been making a huge stink about passing my channel and getting the 33,000 before me. And I said, no way. Absolutely not. And then she caught me. She got caught up with subscriptions, and she passed me earlier this week. I think on Tuesday she passed me. Today is Wednesday. We're going to pass her right back. We're going to pass her and hit 33,000 by the end of the stream. Nightblade. Hi, Bruns Nick. What's going on? Hope you subscribed or already a subscriber. Appreciate it. Bill 57 board. Nick, I see you always have pinup drillings. Mo certainly didn't like pin down drillings. What do you think of them? As the weight hole rule got into effect, I pretty much stopped using pin down layouts. That's basically it. Being able to have the extra hole and tune the ball after the fact, if I didn't like the reaction, was such a huge thing for me. And now that I can't do it, I just don't drill pin down layouts hardly ever. So on symmetrical balls, 100%, I always tell people don't do it. I think pin downs can help people on asymmetric bowling balls if they're lower speed, lower rev. A lot of the things we talk about on Throwbot videos when we're doing the radical ball reviews is they typically flare less and they're easier to control and they have more back end and hitting power. And what happens is with the pin-up layout on those bowlers is the ball wants to read the lane and roll forward. And a pin down helps it retain its axis rotation longer, and it hits harder because it's not rolling out as hard as the pin-up ball. So a lot of the things we've seen are pin down layouts for ASIMs are good for people that are slower speed, slower rev. So it can still work on asymmetrics. On symmetric balls, I don't recommend it. Michael, hypothetical question. If you were the PBA commissioner, is there anything you would do to improve the visibility of professional bowling? I would spend every waking hour trying to get sponsors. I would have somebody in place to work on the tournaments and getting all of that, but having the sponsors in place in order to get the extra money that you need to run these tournaments and pay out enough. Bowling doesn't make enough money because the sponsors aren't there, so they lean on manufacturers through product registration to fund a lot of the tour. So if you were able to take that burden off of the manufacturers so much, make it more reasonable to sponsor the tour, basically, not fund the whole tour, but get sponsors in place that can pay out good money. That would be my sole job and make bowling back in the limelight, because it wasn't but 60 years ago that bowling was the #1 sport. Bowlers were celebrities. We just turned 32,960. We're 40 away from getting where we need to get to tonight. 33,000. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna try to live stream Elise and let her know that she is a loser, second place, because we're getting there first. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know if I'm caught up on the chat. It doesn't give me a time stamp. Doug, do you still love the Brunswick Ethos? Yeah, so Ethos Solid, maybe? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure which Ethos you're talking about. The original Ethos was pretty flippy. Ethos Hybrid, smoother, stronger. And now the Benchmark Ethos Solid. I think the Benchmark one is my favorite one so far. I think that's the one I'm going to use the most. It was between that or the Hammerhead for my Nationals bag, and I went with Hammerhead just because I had more experience with it, using it in competition already. So that was my benchmark pick for Nationals bag this year. Let's see. Lonely the Clown, challenge Packy again, but meet him in his own house. You know what? I've never been to the state of Kansas, and he's out of Wichita. I'm not against it. And we can challenge him heads up. But I can also try to get him next time when he's in town. You know, he filmed his video here when we did the Crown Victory Challenge. He filmed his 3 games here. So, yeah, I would be glad to challenge him again. All right. South Jersey Range Rat. I have a 3.0 hybrid, or 3.0. I clean it every time and hand surface it with 2000, wipe it down. Lately, it's been running straight. Well, here is the problem with just hitting with a 2000 pad. So there are steps on every ball we launch, the finishing steps. And the 2000 grit might be the finishing grit, right? But if you ignore the steps before it, you need to do the steps before it, because if you don't do that 500 grit to start and then finish it with the finishing grit of 2000, it's not the same. So what you're doing is you're basically just lightly polishing the ball every time you're doing it. You're not cutting the surface, so you get those big, scratch marks in there from the 500. You're just hitting it with the 2000, so your surface looks like that, where when the factory you got it, it was more like that. Hit it with the 500 first, then go to 2000. All right. Bruns Yuck, I just had Mrs. Yuck sub to you. I appreciate that. We got a whole yuckin' family. Appreciate it. Gabby, how are you? Jordan, I'm a Special Olympic athlete. I do a backup ball hook. Sometimes my highest game is 139 or 150. How can I do better in league? I want to do a tournament outside the Special Olympics. Good question. So no matter how you throw it, Jordan, getting your mechanics in place from a coach. So make your mechanics more repeatable. That way you can be more consistent, okay? And being more consistent with hitting the pocket and then picking up your spares. So a lesson can go a long way. You can raise your average quite a bit just with making more spares. So if you're at 139 to 150, you have a lot of room that you can improve. Making your spares is my suggestion. Get a lesson to be able to shoot them and be more consistent. All right, Rip Van Rebs. 4 games tonight on Mark Roth with the Black Hammer. Good luck. High scores. And we are 40 subs away from 33,000 tonight. So we're going to keep doing this live stream until we get there. We are 2 hours into this thing. I am not slowing down. I have the gift of gab. I can yap with the best of them. We have already gotten 60 new subscribers. It's been worth every single minute I've been on the stream. So if you're just joining in, wondering what the heck I'm doing here, I'm trying to get to 33,000 subscribers tonight. And the reason for that is because Nate and Elise bullied me, said that they're going to get to 33,000 before us. I think we just passed them. They were at 32,952. Now I'm at 32,960 with a goal of 33 before tonight. Then I'm going to live stream with her. I'm going to try to call her. I don't know if she'll answer. It's getting kind of late, but they are in Louisiana. We'll see. All right, Grumpa. Can you please explain the differences between the purple and the black pearl? I've heard some they say they're the same, others purple is better. So the difference there is the softness. So the cover stock formulations are a little bit different. They're both urethane, they're both traditional urethane, but the hardness is about 4 points difference. So a harder ball is going to be a lot cleaner and less hook. So for some, the purple is better. For others, the black might be better. So it just depends how you bowl. On the PBA Tour, they have the new specifications where the ball has to be 78. So that's all they can use on tour. They can only use the Black Hammer 78 on there. So it's not really a matter of what's better. It's what's better for you. For the average non-PBA bowler, I'd say get the purple. 100% get the purple. If you throw a little softer, get the Black Hammer. Bad Dog Sports, have you seen the film Pin Gods? And if so, what did you think of it? Was that old YouTube movie where they followed around the pros or some of the up-and-coming kids? Is that the one? I think that's what it was. I thought it was cool. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember some of the players were from all over and they were trying to make it on tour back in the early 2000s. I think that's what it was. I could be wrong. I don't know if that's the right movie. All right, Richard Gomer checking in from Louisiana. How you doing? Cheetah, do you have someone to go to when the game starts? Or to go to? I don't know what you meant there. Sorry, buddy. Yuck, the whole yuckin' family. I'm glad you like that. Funny story. Last night I went to Red Robin and I got the clucks and fries. And I paid for the bill on the little tablet that they give you. And they asked for the survey at the end. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give them 5 stars, and I'm gonna put, the clucks were clucking fantastic. And I hope they read that during like a store meeting and the manager brings them in. 32,961. We just jumped another one. Might be more yucks out there, but I appreciate you subscribing. We need 33,000. We're 39 away. We're almost there. Almost there. Steve, maybe Elon will buy or sponsor the tour. Everything he touches turns to gold. If you can catch a rocket booster, I think you do with the tour. That's the main thing, is like money can solve a lot of issues with the tour. Forever people say, oh, well, the tour is dead because this and that. Well, when they're still making the same dollar figure as they were 30, 40 years ago, yeah, it looks bad. So getting sponsors to make these tournaments worth life-changing money, because if you turn on whatever, Fox Sports, it's not Fox Sports anywhere, and they're bowling for $30,000, that's not a big deal. When you probably got, bags or whatever you call it, they're probably making way more than that, or air guitar or something crazy. But yeah, bowling is kind of fallen by the wayside because in the land of reality TV and that kind of stuff, it just doesn't move the needle as far as what they're bowling for. All right, let's see what else we got here. Bacon, what do I think about the attitude control from Brunswick? That was a urethane ball, had a little bit of a core in it, lower flare. I didn't actually throw it. I don't think I drilled it. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, it was a good control ball, urethane ball. So it was something to try to compete with whatever was on the market at the time. But now we got purple hammer, black hammer. It's the best. Charlie, what's the scoop on the Brunswick ball in August? New cover stock. All the information's out there. 32,962. We just jumped up another one. We're 38 away. We need to get to 33,000 tonight. That's what we're doing tonight. We're asking everybody, if you haven't subbed, sub to the channel. We got to get to 33 to beat Nate and Elise, getting to 33,000 tonight. They have no idea I'm doing this, but when I call her and let her know we got there, it's going to be so hilarious because she went, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, we just went live for a while and I asked politely. But yeah, all the information on the August bowling balls is out, so you can check it out. I'm not doing videos on them. Influencers aren't doing videos on them until the end of the month. They don't come out until August. So we just did all the videos on the July balls. There's probably still some out there. And you'll see those videos at the end of the month. So I haven't even drilled them. I don't know a whole lot about them other than what's on paper. But there's 6 new bowling balls come out in August. And there's some new technology mixed in there. There's some old throwbacks. 32,963, it just clicked over. 37 away from 33,000 tonight. That's what we're getting to. We're going to celebrate with a phone call over to Elise. I'll try to FaceTime her from my computer. We'll see if that works. Haven't done that in a long time. And then we're going to do a giveaway for a couple shirts. 32,964. We just gained another one. We're 36 away from getting there. We're going to get there tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get there, and I appreciate all of your support. I've been going on 127 minutes, 32,965. We're rolling, and we're going to get there tonight, and we're going to celebrate. I'm going to do a giveaway for a couple shirts for all subscribers. It'll be in the community tab, the old Woo box, and it's going to be a great time. All right, let's see what we got here. Jordan, my other question, I have a ball called the Deviate Brutal Nightmare on third person to re-drill. Is that bad, or does it hurt the ball motion? No, I mean, when you plug and re-drill the ball, it's okay. As long as the ball's not rolling over any of the plug, I think you're in good shape. Just keep that cover clean, get the dirt off of there, and I think you'll be all right, Jordan. 32,966, we just jumped another one. We're 34 away. All right, A2 Pin Setter Mechanic Misfit Bowler, the longest name I've ever seen. 32,967, we just jumped another one. Yeah, what's going on is we need to get to 33,000 tonight. I've been bullied by Nate and Elise, mostly just Elise, that say they're going to get to 33,000 before me. And I just can't let that happen. They can have all the rest of the accolades after that, but they have been ruthless with saying they're going to get there before me. And that's just not going to happen. So we're getting there tonight. That's why I'm going live. That's the story. So if you're in the chat, you're just tuning in, you're like, what the heck's he doing live? He never goes live. Who is this guy? Subscribe to me anyway. 32,968. We just jumped up another one. 32 away. We're going to get there tonight. I think I'm all caught up on chat. Awesome. So Larry LaCroix, are the Raw Hammer Series a good group of balls for a senior player who's 76 years old? Yes. And start with the shinier pearly balls, because I'm guessing your ball speed isn't great. You know, as we age, your ball speed goes down. So start with like one of the pearls or hybrids and start from there. But yeah, raws are a great one. 32,969, just clicked over. We're 31 away from getting to 33. We are cruising now. Cruising. So if you're in the chat, just hit that subscribe button. We're going to get to 33. I'm going to call you Elise. We're going to have a good time. All right. I work at a 24-lane bowling alley. I would love for us to do more tournaments. I mean, put it out there. I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like a lot of centers can host tournaments. You got to have something that's fun, that people want to bowl, whether that's handicap, scratch, whatever the locals want. You know, you got to let them kind of decide what's going to be popular. 32,970. We're only 30 away. We're going to get there. We're just cruising. This last 32,971. This is amazing. We're going to get to 33 here soon. All right. Squidly, unfortunately, YouTube only lets me sub once. Otherwise, I would give you 33,000 subs myself. I appreciate the support and everybody who's ever subscribed to my channel. I really have the best fans. I probably have 32,000 more subscribers than I deserve. I love doing videos. I always have. I've been doing videos for 20 some odd years. And I have a lot of fun doing it still. I woke up 2.5 years ago one morning and I said, you know what? I want to start doing ball reviews again. I haven't done them in a long time, full time, and I want to get back into it. I think I can do it better, and there's not a lot of Brunswick stuff out there. So I want to be that guy that does them, and now I've even spread that love a little bit and brought on other influencers that were already popular by their own right, and got them set up and got more bowling balls out there into the hands of people that people like to watch. So you guys see them, you know, and hope you subscribe to their channels too. All right. Richard, I'm bowling in a handicap tournament on the 4th. I'm not sure what ball I should use on a house pattern. I have 2 hammers and a rhino. Well, I mean, what's your favorite ball? You should start with that one. So you probably have your favorite ball out of those, your 2 hammers and your rhino. You know, start with the ball you have the most confidence in. Whatever ball you use the most, start with that one, see what it does. You know, if you're bowling on a house pattern, you know, you're probably going to use the ball that you normally use during league. So I would do that. 32,972. We just clicked over another one. 28 subscribers more, and we are going to hit our goal of 33,000. And we'll end the live stream with calling Elise to congratulate her on finishing 2nd place in the race to 33,000. That's what this is all about. Mike S. Bowling challenge, bowl on 55 feet of oil. I might do that. That sounds like a fun challenge. You know, it's a complete opposite of bowling on no oil. So 32,973. We just clicked over another one. We're 27 away from 33,000. So if you're just in the chat, you're just wondering, hey, should I subscribe? Is this the right time? Absolutely is. Hit that subscribe button. Please rejoin the chat and have a blast with that. 55 feet of oil is interesting because 1, you're going to need a lot of surface. 2, you need to throw it really slow, and then you got to hope for the best. Anything you throw outside is never going to hook back. 32,974, just clicked over another one. I'm using my peripheral vision. I can see it change over as I'm talking to everybody on my phone and in the chat, having a great time. 80 people still tuning in after 132 minutes of being live. I didn't know how long this was going to go. I had no idea if I was even going to get any subscribers based on doing this live, but I was completely wrong. And I've gotten 74 new subscribers in the time we've been live. I appreciate everybody who has subscribed to get me to my goal of 33,000, just so I can rub it in Elise's nose right after this, and we're going to try to call her while I'm live. I'll see if I can do it on the computer here and go live with her so she can learn firsthand what happens when she pokes the bear. So, K-Rex, what ball do you have in display on top of the Curio? That is a PBA Tour Visiball that I got many, many years ago. It is signed by some PBA Tour pros. A lot of them were Brunswick pros at the time, 2010, somewhere in there. I think that's when I got that ball. And so I had all the pros sign it that, you know, that were on the Brunswick team. So I know Walter's on there. I know Parker's on there. I'm pretty sure Sean Rash is on there. Brad Angelo probably. But yeah, it's just signed by some of our pros that when we only had one brand, we only had Brunswick brand. We didn't have anybody else. So it's a very cool keepsake for me. They, as far as I know, I don't think they make anything like that anymore with the PBA Tour. Oh, let's see. Gabriel, what's the big difference in ball motion from the theorem line besides the surface? So that theorem core, right? That kind of elliptical core, if you want to call it, light bulb elliptical core, basically, has been more that sweeping ball motion, that kind of in the middle of the range asymmetric ball, where they're not super aggressive, they're not super skid flippy, anything of that sort. But, you know, everything is not just surface, but cover stock differences. So the original Theorem versus Theorem Pearl, the Theorem Pearl is a lot more flippy. The original was a hybrid, I believe, a little bit smoother, and that's been the favorite one of all time from everybody. And honor scores prove that. The Pearl one, I actually probably shot my highest series with that this year in league. And then the Solid's coming out here in August, and that ball tested very well. It's going to be a lot stronger, smoother, but keep that same kind of sweeping shape. So it's going to be dependent on how you bowl on different patterns. So if you're bowling on more volume, obviously probably solids are going to work better, or more surface. You can obviously add surface, but if you were to make the surfaces the same on all three of them and try to throw them, you'd still see a difference, absolutely. Bad Dog Sports, subscribe with my fitness channel. I love it. 32,975, just clicked over another one. We're only 25 subscribers away. We're 3/4 of the way to our goal. We started with 32,900, and now we're at 32,975. I know for a fact we have passed Elise from their channel. We're going to get to 33,000 before they do. That was the whole goal originally. I had to get there before them. They said they were going to get there before me. She's been bullying me. 32,977, just clicked over 2 more. 23 away. Yes, we're going to get there. We're going to get there soon, and we're going to celebrate. I'm going to call Elise on FaceTime. She's not going to know what to do with the information. It's going to be so great. It's going to be so great. Michael Smith, is there one aspect of your game that you wish you could change? 32,978. We're only 22 away. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, when I was bowling competitively and bowling regionals every weekend, basically, I think the one thing that I wish I could change was just being more consistent. You know, I was pretty decent, but I never got to that level of consistency on every day where I can show up the next day and still have and just continue on. I felt like every day was a new challenge to get comfortable and to get confidence. So I had to like restart every day. Like I didn't just show up the next day and everything was, you know, a continuation from the previous day. I feel like I had to restart and redo everything. So just having more confidence in the consistency of it. And ultimately, 32,979 just clicked over. We only need 21 more. Having the confidence in bowling only comes with success. And when you aren't having that success of winning, it's hard to kind of take little tiny wins and turn them into confidence, you know, and until you win, you don't really see that confidence. So just being consistent enough day to day would be the thing I'd change the most. I think my physical game is good enough. My mental game has gotten better as I've gotten older. And just a lot of that is knowledge. And I'm really good at staying calm. I don't freak out anymore when I struggle. I know what I need to do, and I know what I need to do to dig out sometimes. So that would be the thing I'd change, is just being more consistent. And now, you know, I don't bowl competitively very much anymore. I do the YouTube, I bowl my league, and I bowl 2 tournaments a year. That's it. So now it's more or less just having fun, thinking of fun ideas for the channel, and just doing it in a way that I have fun with it. So nowadays, I don't sweat it. I don't sweat it. I like to compete, but I don't do it at any kind of level anymore. Squidly, you have a great channel. You deserve 33K at minimum. I appreciate that, and we're going to get there tonight. Hopefully, very soon. I've been live for 138 minutes. I told everybody I was going to stay live until we got to 33. We got 80 people still watching me on Wednesday night, just chilling with me. If you're in the chat, you haven't even subscribed, tell me you did it. I'll give you a shout out. Be glad to. Yeah, Squidly, I learned quite a lot from you from the past couple of years. Well, I've been on it. I've made a lot of videos in the last few years, and I'm glad that you saw value out of what I'm doing. So I was a coach, I was a pro shop owner, I was a pro. I feel like I have a lot to offer, and I'm glad you see it. So I have fun doing it in the process. Greasefire, I've watched layout videos, but how does a pro determine a bowler's first layout? Still haven't pulled the trigger on my first ball watching hours of your channel. Yeah, so if you go into a pro shop, 980, we're only 20 away. If you go into a pro shop and you've never had a ball drilled, right? So you don't have a PAP, you don't have anything, what you're ultimately going to get is a safe layout. And what I mean by that is you're going to get a pinup type layout, probably over the ring finger, up and to the right a little bit. Something that's going to get you a easy, safe layout where you can get that information later. Because as a new bowler, nobody knows how you throw. Nobody knows what your PAP is going to be. You can't get it off a house ball. You can't really get it off anything because nothing fits you. So get fitted, get your first ball. Don't sweat all that. You can always get another ball later once you learn how you throw. And then you can build off that first ball. So A2, I try to do videos on repairing A2 pin setters. It's just not a lot of room. Yeah, I mean, on lanes 3 and 4 in our center, 32,981, we're 19 away. I don't even bowl on the A2s that are on 3 and 4 because if there's any kind of breakdown or any kind of pin jam, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's intimidating. So I don't bother with the A2s. You know, they run a little louder. GSX, I've had a little bit of training on, and I know the safety parts of it. I know how to work them. I know where the emergency switches are. I know what to do, and I can fix them if I need to. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's not a whole lot of room to do what you're doing. Maybe it's you got to get creative. Maybe you got to use some GoPros. Maybe you got to get creative with how you film it, and then mic up, and then just add the audio later. That's my suggestion. Random Gear Gaming. I have an Outer Limits hybrid, tremendous pearl, sneak attack, and breakaway. Dulled to take the shine off. Any suggestions and upgrades to any of those balls? Well, I mean, you got a wide range of stuff. You got a good amount of ASIMs and symmetric bowling balls. Yeah, I mean, those are good picks. Outer Limit Hybrid, it's not that old. Tremendous Pearl, a little older. I think that was before the HK days. Sneak Attack, good ball for the dry and breakaway, kind of a benchmark type ball. I think that was an 050 diff somewhere in there. Yeah, maybe try a super symmetrical. Maybe upgrade your symmetrical game. I think there's room in there where you can have a ball to complement your breakaway. You know, look at the snapshot, the first one that come out, or the No Doubt, the first one that come out. Something shiny that will be a little more angular, but in a symmetrical ball. All right, Grumpa, I really enjoy the Hazmat Pearl. What might be a good solid and hybrid to pair with it? 14 miles per hour, 200 RPMs, down and in, thumb in, lefty, 50 years old, high tilt, axis, 15 degrees. You like your Hazmat Pearl and you want something down and up. Well, I would say probably a pin down effect tour would be a good one. I think you want to at least an ASIM up top, something that is going to be controllable. And there's other options. You can go with like an Angler Solid or something like that instead. I wouldn't go pin down on it, but maybe I would stick with some ASIMs for up top. That way you can go pin down and really control that ball. So that way you can stay down and in. And as far as your dry lane ball, I mean, maybe something like Torpedo Direct Hit. That would be the ball that would be a step down from Hazmat Pearl, where it's really clean. You can just kind of play in the burn a little bit more. All right, Frank, Bowl Junior Leagues with Billy O. Great representative from Brunswick as you are. Great job, guys. Appreciate the nice words there, Frank. We're at 32,982 now. We just jumped up another one. We're only 18 away from 33,000, and I will try to call Elise to let her know the great news that we got there before her. Yes. All right. Ricardo, thank you for your videos, man. Helped me as a new bowler. I got my first bowling ball, the Hustle Glow, and my buddies give me a harsh reality with the Endeavor. Been working on everything. And any tips? Well, I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I mean, you got your first bowling balls, so now it's time to get a lesson and get your mechanics in order. You know, start picking up spares, start getting your body in motion that you can repeat shots. and leave easy spares, and your scores will come. 32,983. We just jumped up another one. We're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. Charlie Lamb, you are the standard of ball reviews. Keep up the great work. Charlie, thank you for that compliment. I appreciate that more than you know. I just lost a subscriber. 32,982. We're back down to 18 left to go. Yeah, I have my own way of doing reviews, right? And I try to standardize the way I do reviews. So when you watch a review, you know exactly what you're going to get out of the review. I'm going to do my intro. We just jumped up 2 subscribers, 32,984. Appreciate you guys jumping in and subscribing. But yeah, I structure my videos in a way that you know exactly what's going to happen and you know what parts are coming. I'm going to bowl in the same parts of the lane on the same pattern and have specto data along the way. So I appreciate that you find value in that. I really do. TJ Devon, I have a Black Widow Mania, Stealth Mode, Ocean Vibe. Will be getting the Paragon Shadow soon. Any tips bowling on the 2025 Petraglia and Johnson first time bowling sport pattern? I don't know those patterns offhand. I'm not really well versed on every single pattern. I mean, there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, of patterns out there. I don't know them all. But bowling on sports pattern versus bowling on regular house shots is what you're probably going to find out is you're going to need more surface than you think. So when you're bowling in practice, hopefully you're able to practice on these patterns before you bowl these leagues, or if you're bowling tournaments, I don't know. But use more surface than you think you're going to need, and have those pads ready for you during practice, okay? So you can't adjust them when you get into, bowling the tournaments or leagues, whatever it's going to be. So make sure you have the pads there. You might need 500 grit, you might need 1,000 grit, might only need 2,000 grit. I don't know how you bowl. But you're typically going to need more surface than you are when you bowl on house shots. So that's my suggestion. A2, 10 of them subs are from me. I appreciate that. Don't know how you're doing that, but I appreciate it. I'll take any sub I can get right now to get to 33 before Nate and Elise. This is going to be the greatest FaceTime call ever when I call her after we get there and get to 33,000 before she does, because she has no idea what's going on. Mr. Mice, any whispers on future free fall setters? Less complicated, more affordable, or the strings the direction of the answer? Well, the market's ultimately going to decide what the direction is. There are some centers that are going string pin for the main reason of, cost, maintaining them over time, and liability. There's less moving parts. I think it's 25% of the parts of like a GSX machine. As far as free fall pin setters, I know there's the GS Next machine, which is the next generation of GSX machine. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I don't know. So string pins definitely hot right now, and proprietors are jumping on that boat a little bit. I don't think it's ever going to replace free fall completely, but there will be a good mix of string pin and free fall out there. So Steve, bowling is becoming huge in Japan and South Korea. Any thoughts on doing a few shows out there? Shows, I'm not sure what you mean by shows. Yeah, we have distributors in Japan and Korea. I get a lot of views from Korea and Japan. I think it goes USA first, and then I think Korea second, and then Japan's third, and then the Canada probably fourth, and then Europe after that. But no, I've thought about doing other reviews and actually working with our distributors over there to send them my video, and then they can send over like a voiceover in their native language, and then I would post that on maybe my own channel, maybe a separate channel. I could do like Brunswick Korea, Brunswick Japan, whatever it might be, and do it that way, and even maybe do some overseas releases. But that's something that would need to be worked out. When I first started doing reviews and I pitched that idea to my boss, he's like, let's stick with the the stateside releases, because I already got my hands full. It's already a lot of bowling balls. So it's a great idea. I have thought about it, and doing the voiceover work would be awesome. I think that would be very well received over there. Jay Woo, how are you doing? Thank you. Hopefully you subscribe. We're 16 subscribers away from 33,000. We're almost there. We are almost to 33,000 to beat Nate and Elise, getting there first. That's what we do. We win. That's what we do. They said they're going to get there. 32,985. Hit that subscribe button. Need to get to 33,000 tonight. We're going to get there at the end of this call. I'm going to call Elise and let her know the great news. And I think she'll be so happy for me because the competition's been great. They got a great channel. And you should subscribe to them. 32,986, but subscribe to them after I hit 33. So I'm going to screenshot this once we get over that number, and it's going to be an amazing thing when I call her and let her know. All right. Nick Wilkerson, one Nick to another. What's your take on the amount of overall talented bowlers in Michigan compared to other states? Well, I mean, we got our fair share of great bowlers. You know, we have our fair share of Hall of Famers and some touring pros. So I think that the talent in Michigan's great. I mean, I'm a California guy from heart, you know, so there's a lot of great bowlers out of California as well. But there's a lot of good pros and a lot of bowlers on the other side of the state. I'm on the west side, you know, and a lot of the great bowlers are on the east side of Michigan. So, yeah, I mean, there's great bowlers all over the country, and Michigan has their fair share of them all. All right, Michael, is cohesion the strongest additive Brunswick makes? The first time I tried it, I was blown away by how responsive. Sorry for all the questions. I really appreciate all the information. No, I welcome all the questions. I'll take all the questions there are. Once we get to 33,000 tonight, we're going to, yeah, this is what we're here for. Live Q&A. We're 14 away. Cohesion is the most aggressive additive. Okay, and there's different packages of cohesion. So if you've noticed on some of the brands, the first one to have it was Hammer with the effect. That was the first ball. That was a straight up cohesion additive. And you see in some other brands, there's been a mix of cohesion and maybe something like Formula One Hybrid or something, you know. So there's a mix. So there's a ratio of additive package that goes into a ball. And Phil does it all the time. You know, he'll have different packages and additions, maybe some additives that add friction to the cover, stuff like that. So yes, cohesion is the strongest additive package there is, in addition to the HK base. So straight up cohesion additive is usually the most responsive. When you mix it, it's because they're trying to create a motion that fits in somewhere in the line. 32,987, we're 13 away from hitting our goal of what we did. We're 150 minutes into this. Worth every minute. I've been talking this whole time. I even got a super chat in there. $2? Heck yeah, where'd that come from? I see it now. I'm way behind. Gabriel the bowler, I appreciate you. I'm going to take that one right now. Hammer effect, 3D attack, phase 2, HX10. Am I missing something? Okay, so I'm going to have a little trouble with some of the other bowling balls. I'm not sure what HX10 is. Phase 2 I'm kind of familiar with. 3D attack, effect. Well, you get your benchmark ball, you get your ASIM that's kind of flippy. If you throw it hard, Gabriel, I would say you're probably missing your low-end ball. I'm not sure what the HX10 is. You know, if you throw it, you know, if you hit dry lanes, you're going to need something that's lower flaring, that's going to get down the lane. I'm not sure if you have that covered. But if you throw it hard and you don't have a dull solid up top, you want to probably look at something that's going to be smoother and stronger if you ever get into heavy, heavy oil. So that's my pick. I'm going to like that comment. Appreciate you, Gabriel. Appreciate the super chat there. All right, let's get back to where we go here. All right, I'm getting behind on chat again. We're getting 82 people in the chat right now. We're trying to get to 33,000. If you're in the chat and you haven't subscribed to the channel, appreciate it if you would. Because once we get to 33,000, this is going to be great. We're going to do it. All right, where are we at here? George Smith, I was looking at the Hammerhead. I have a Widow 3.0 vibe, Mesmerize. What about the Crown Victory? What's your take? So Hammerhead's going to be smoother. Crown Victory is later and sharper. So 3.0 vibe, I mean, depending, I mean, I would probably go Hammerhead just because I don't think you have that benchmark ball in your bag. So Vibe's going to be cleaner for more dry lanes. Mesmerize on the top. And your Widow 3.0 also at the top. So you got the top of the bag covered. I think you need something more in the mid-range that's not as flippy. So... all right. Richard, would love to get one of the spare wheels you did a few months ago. Not sure if you have any left. No, I don't. I only had the one. So that one, I only had the one spare wheel. I mean, they were made in the 1960s. I just happened to find one. I did a video on it. I might have had a couple of them at the time. Or no, they were on eBay. There was only a handful of them on eBay, and they're all gone. Yeah, finding them is going to be hard. They're basically antiques at this point. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm going to kind of scroll through and go some of these faster so I can kind of catch up better. Gabriel, thank you for the information on all your videos. I've been on staff with Brunswick for 13 years now. I'm always learning from them on the Bee family. Appreciate you, Gabriel. I believe you're out of Houston, Texas, right? Somewhere in Texas. I remember that. I remember when I first took over staff. I remember your name very well. All right. Grandpa, our local alley uses extremely heavy pins that they got on clearance somewhere. I think they're called Amflite. Any tips for tackling heavy pins? Grandpa, I'm not sure if that's actually true or just, because pins are regulated. In order to be USBC approved, they have to fall within like a 3-ounce range. They have to be, no more than 3 pounds, 10 ounces, I think. And most of the pins are 3 pounds, 6 ounces, somewhere in there. So they're probably not super heavy. I don't know. Have them weighed, see what they weigh. If they're 3 pounds, 7 ounce, 3 pounds, 6 ounce, they're a normal pin. But heavy pins, they're harder to knock down. They do exist. They did make those gold pins a while back for the PBA Tour, and they are a little bit harder to knock over. So, if you add 5 ounces per pin, times 10, that's 50 ounces. That's 3 more pounds that the ball has to go through, that the ball's up against. So it does make a difference, even at that incremental. Greg Davies at 32.9. I can't see the actual number. So when I started this live stream, they were at 32.950, and they were currently bowling nationals, or they're doing something. I don't know. But I talk to her all the time, and I started at 32.900. We're at 32.987, and I think we have passed them. I'm not sure what they're at, but the only time I'm going to reach out to Elise to figure out what's up is when I call her when we hit 33,000, which is going to be any time now with your help. If you're in the chat, you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because once we get to 33, I'm also going to give away 2 shirts. I've also made that decision. We're going to give away a couple Brunswick shirts. I'm going to have a WooBox link in the community tab. If you're not subscribed, you won't see those posts. So subscribe to the channel. You'll be able to get the WooBox, and you'll be able to do that. Michael Smith, you're consider collaborating with a coach on videos. You already bring a lot of knowledge in your videos. I think it'd be really helpful to see some dedicated coaching videos. Who I would have would be the question. There's only one coach I've ever worked with, 32.988. I've only ever worked with Mark Baker. I would love to have Mark Baker on a video. I would love to collaborate with him again. We go back a long ways, ever since he was the rep for Cal Bowling Supply and used to come as a customer rep for my pro shops that I had in California. So we'd have lunch all the time. He was doing coaching on the side, and he had his full-time job. And this was at the point of time, I think around 2008, 2009, when he's like, should I do this full-time? And I was like, absolutely you should do this full-time, because one, you're the best coach there is, and I think you can do this full-time because you'll always have lessons. 32.989, and look what he's done over the last 15 years or so. He's one of the best coaches there ever was. He coaches a lot of the best players in the world, and he runs a lot of clinics. So I would love to work with Bakes. As far as working with another coach, I haven't had a lesson personally in a long time. So Bakes, if you're out there listening, we got to work together, buddy. All right. Casey Owens, I'm just practicing right now. My Jopo got jammed halfway into the ball, and I tried to switch him. Could not get the slug out. Any advice? Yeah, go take it to your pro shop. They probably have a specialized tool, and if not, they're going to have to drill that in or out to get it out. So, yeah, that's my suggestion there. You can't really, if it's jammed in there and wedged, there's not a lot you can do. So rather than damage it, go take it to the shop. So DB, any possibility of getting other pros on for a video, like a behind the story with Bill O'Neill? We just hit 32,990. We're 10 away. We're only 10 away from hitting our goal, and I can finally call Elise and tell her that we hit 33,000. It's going to be so great once we get there. I'm going to laugh so hard when I call her. If she answers, I don't know if she's going to answer. I would love to have other pros. When they do come into town, they're usually only in town for the day that they're filming whatever videos. I don't get a lot of time. The other thing is I don't film any of my content during work hours. I do only on the weekends. So everything I do is on Sunday or Saturday, and I edit at night. So all this stuff I do after hours. Getting a pro involved is kind of tough there. Looks like I got another super chat. What did I get a super chat? Dennis McClintock, I appreciate you. Got you on there. 32991. Appreciate the support. Super chat. Really appreciate it. I did not expect any of those guys. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I would love to have other pros and collaborate with them. The only problem is this time and getting them here. So, Dennis, another great video review. I love the bubblegum vibe. Really excited to see the new radical balls, mostly the track theorem. Yeah, I'll have those videos out end of July, early August. Starting July 29th is when we're going to do that. Get Bent TV. Dang, I'm late for the live. You're not late. You're right in time. The best part's about to happen. We're going to hit 33,000 here, hopefully in a few minutes. We started with 32,900, and the whole point was to get to 33,000 before Nate and Elise did. Mostly Elise. She's been bullying me for a month, saying she's going to get to 33,000, and there's nothing I can do about it. But this is what I'm doing about it. I'm getting on my channel, going live. I never go live. They go live all the time, and asking for the support, and I've gotten it. We're getting there. They're at 32,950 something when I started this. And now I'm almost certain we have passed them, and we're going to hit 33,000 right soon, I hope. Let's get this going. All right. A2, again, I have multiple Gmail accounts, and all of them have a YouTube account. I appreciate you subscribing on all of them. I really do. This is going to be so great, and I couldn't have done it with everybody's help. Without everybody's help. Appreciate it. Get Bent TV, what are your thoughts on making more vids of you bowling at the House of Pain? Are we going to see more league videos using the newest releases? Yes, I will. We start up league again in September, so I will be filming league again. My average actually went up 9 pins this year compared to last year because I was filming myself, I think. And yeah, I'll do more of that. Unfortunately, during the summer, they don't do open bowling. They don't have lanes. I'm sure I can call and do it, but they got live music. They got all sorts of stuff happening on the weekends that I just wouldn't be able to get in there. And I don't want to put anybody out because it's a big deal for them to like oil lanes. It's not an easy process because they do it all by hand. So I'll have to wait for winter to do more videos there. I like bowling there. I'll do league videos again once we do that. All right, see what else we got. Darren Watts, your consistency and structure along with your physical, mental game being on point brings it all together. You evolve and adapt with everything that comes your way, and that's what makes Brunsnick. I really appreciate that, Darren. I appreciate the insight on what makes my videos different than everybody else's, and hopefully everybody appreciates the work I put in. I love doing them. I love doing videos, always have. Been doing them for 20 years now, so I think starting up the YouTube channel and doing it full-time was one of the best decisions I ever made. So, Dennis, I've fallen in love with the Katana Strike Hybrid. Finally shot 714 series, but it came back the next day, shot 686. I only watch you, Brunsnick. I appreciate that, Dennis. Those are some solid sets. You're averaging 700 back-to-back days, so that's pretty good. We're 9 away, 32,991. We get 9 more to hit 33,000. Then I'm going to try to call Elise on my FaceTime here on my computer and see if I can get her to answer. 32,992. We're 8 away. Please subscribe. We're going to get there very soon. I'm going to call her, and then I'm going to give away 2 shirts. I'm going to have a link in the community tab here. I'll put a Woo box up, and we're going to give away a couple of Brunsnick shirts for all your support. And yeah, I really appreciate it. We got another super chat. You guys are amazing. What's going on here? Peter Pumpkin Eater, need a ball, a called hammer and pissy for you. I don't know what that means, but that's hilarious. 32,993, 7 away. Let's do this. Oh man, that's great. All right, 32,994. Here we go. What ball would you recommend to replace Motive Jackal Ambush? Numbers are 247, 054, Mass Bias 015. I think that's right in the outer limits range. I'm not sure what the cover is on that Jackal, but look at the outer limits solid. I think that's going to be a good choice for what you're looking for. And if it's not a solid, maybe, gosh, I'd have to look. But that's the first one that pops into my mind. Outer limits solid. All right, 32,996. We're only 4 away. 4 away. The Fayball Bowler. How do you submit honor scores for honor roll on Facebook? So go to whatever brand page that you shot the honor score. So if you shot it with a hammer ball, go to Hammer Bowling on Facebook, send a message, and then we'll get back to you with the link on how to submit the video and the honor score. So we're going to ask for a picture of you holding the ball, or if you have a video of the final shot or a final frame of you shooting 300, 800, whatever it was. So here we go. Going down the list. 4 away from 33,000. I can't believe it. We're getting there. This is going to be so amazing, guys. When I call Elise and let her know that I hit 33,000, she's going to be like, what? How is that possible? I just got a super chat from Hero DB. What? You are awesome at doing these reviews. Some of the equipment I only bought because of your insight. Thanks for the videos. Keep on climbing in the subs, Nick. Hero DB, I appreciate the super chat, man. I really do. I wasn't expecting any of that. I really wasn't. And I just wanted subscribers, man. I really appreciate it. And let's see if I can get this here. Man, appreciate that, man. I really do. We're still 4 away, and once we get there, 3 away now. 32,997. This is amazing. I can't wait. This is like watching the New Year's ball drop, and it's just slowly coming down. We're about to hit 33,000, and we're gonna win this contest against the bully in my life, Elise, from Nate and Elise, that said that they're gonna get to 33,000 before me. 32,998. We're only 2 away, everybody. I'm gonna catch up on the questions now. I need to get up here quick because I am running behind here. So if I don't get to your question, I'm sorry. I'm watching out of the corner of my eye here. And we're 1 away. 32,999. I'm going to, oh my goodness, we're going to hit there. And I got to figure out how to FaceTime from my computer here. Huh. Let's see what I do here. Oh, we need 1 more. That's all we need. I can hardly see my screen. All right, let's see. FaceTime, right? There it is. All right, I can do that. Oh, we just hit it. Hold on, I got a screenshot. We just hit 33,000, everybody. 33,000, we just hit it. We got there. All right, I'm gonna find Elise from live stream. We just hit 33,000. Elise. Search. Where are you at? Let's see what we got here. I gotta do it here. Let me just type in her number. We got there. 33,000, everybody. Let's see what we got. Oh, no, we don't want that one. What's her number? We got there, everybody. 33,000. We made it. I'm trying to figure out how to call her from my computer, but my contacts aren't showing up here. Let's see, maybe we can bring her in on the live stream. That would be even more funny, wouldn't it? Let me see what here. Hold on a sec. What does that do? Nope, that doesn't do it. Can I invite anybody? Can I invite people into the live stream? That would be great, right? What's this? No, that's background. Can we add somebody? Start a poll, start a Q&A. Nope. Bear with me, guys. But I want to get her on the live stream here if we can, because that would be hilarious. But we got the 33,000. We're there. I'm trying to do it on my computer, but my computer isn't synced up with my, what's it called? With my contacts. So give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let me see if I can't get her on the stream here, if that's even possible. Share with your audience. Trying to figure this out. What does this button do? I'm just pressing buttons. Oops. That's not it. I'm just pressing buttons, everybody. But we did hit 33,000. I can't believe it. We got there. I'm trying to figure out how to FaceTime her without getting out of this live stream. Let me see if maybe I can scroll up. I hope I don't lose everybody. Hold on a second, because I got to get her number. Are we back? Let's see if we can. Got her number. All right, let's see if this works. I'm FaceTiming her right now, by the way.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Are you doing the have a good night challenge right now?
What do you mean? What challenge could there be? Can everybody hear her in the chat?
Is this the or what is the challenge where they call everyone and say have a good night, or I just want to say good night to you?
No, this isn't that challenge at all.
Oh, is this the I'm trying to get to 33,000 subs and you're sad that all of my friends unsubscribed to you?
No, this is the I just got to 33,000. I got you on the live stream right now just so we can congratulate you on finishing second.
Oh, okay. I'm proud of you. What did you post?
I've been live for the last 168 minutes to get there.
I'm dead.
Is everybody getting this? I got the receipts here. We're at 33,000. I went live, and guess what? Can everybody hear her just fine?
I'm actually dead that you're this desperate. This actually makes it so much better.
See, see, this is funny. She thinks it's desperate, but she doesn't know that I'm gonna do anything possible to win. You know what? When she passed me and she's like, "Oh, R.I.P. Nick, R.I.P. Eat my dust, Nick."
How long is 100? I wish I could do math.
2.5 hours. Almost 2 hours.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. We've never FaceTime, and Nate's about to go over the bullet journal. He's like, "Why is he FaceTiming?" I was like, "I don't know. Probably something cool."
Yeah, really cool, wasn't it?
It would have been way funnier if you would have FaceTimed me while Nate was 490 for the 4th time in his singles game.
That's too bad.
You could have got if you would have had that on camera.
Here.
It would have been funnier because he.
Let me get my little tiny violin out for Nate on your 4.9s, buddy.
You did not. You've been live this whole time.
I've been live for 170 minutes now, and we got 33,000 thanks to the best fans and the best supporters. And I did not tell him to unsubscribe from your channel once at all. Didn't have to go there.
I have to look at this live.
Yeah, go ahead. Get on YouTube. Go ahead. I might lose you on the live stream, but hey, pop in the chat, you know.
Is this your first time ever going live?
I think it's my 3rd ever in the last 3 years, so.
I can't believe you went live for the. I'm really proud of you, actually. That's actually hilarious.
Thank you. So I will get your 2nd place ribbon made up. No problem.
I'll take it.
And yeah, hop in the chat. Say hi to everybody. They'd love to hear from you. There's still 100 people, 104 people in there right now. So yeah, you know, we had a goal. You said you were going to get to 33. You were wrong. I got there first, and
you
now
better make me a T-shirt so I can wear it in my next video now.
2nd place loser.
So now the track here is that I should have a T-shirt for my next video that I'm the 2nd place loser.
That's fine. We're already going to give away a couple T-shirts to everybody that's subscribed. You know, so we're going to do a giveaway on the WooBox link. I'm going to post it in the community tab. I really appreciate your help and your motivation.
Unbelievable.
This is.
So I'm actually laughing because right before you called me, I said, "When are you rolling the BTM?" So we could just post something because we haven't posted anything, not even for the subscriber count. He's like, "Oh, I'm doing that tomorrow," and then you were calling.
Well, I thought you already hit it because you got over 32.9 like yesterday or something like that. So I was like, oh, she's probably already over 33.
I haven't been able to post in a week because Nate's been bowling the one tournament. You can't freaking post anything.
Yeah, well,
so.
You know, it's just the way of the world. You know, it's just not fair. But this kind of reminds me of the first Fast and the Furious movie, where you know Johnny's racing in the desert, and then you know he hits the nitrous button too early, and then he's like, "Too soon, Junior," and this is me coming in the back and beating you on the back end there. So. You are more than welcome to have 34,000, 35,000, 50,000, but I just wanted to thank you for giving me the motivation to do something with my life on a Wednesday night.
I actually was waiting for you to be like, yeah, so I spent $1,000 on my credit card to get the last,
That's what you guys were doing. You guys were maxing out your credit cards. That's why you slowed down the last day.
So it's actually also funny. When you texted me earlier and you said, you're like, did you max out your credit card? I was like, well, actually, we just put $9,000 on the card with brackets. How did you know?
That's funny. Yep. So this is amazing. Yeah.
Now everyone can go unsubscribe subscribe. Like, he doesn't need 33,000.
I'm 33,003 people are still subscribing. You know, it's going to be a great time. And now I got to work on getting the Woo box up so that they can have a chance at winning a couple of shirts from the Brunsnick collection. And I'll make you your own custom shirt. Don't worry about it. And
Yes.
just let me know
So
what.
now that you got there, if I don't have a custom shirt in a video, that they know that you are a liar and a fraud.
Right. I'm not any of those things, so I will get on working on making that shirt for you. And with great input from the chat, they're going to let me know what exactly needs to be on this shirt, right?
Yeah, and I will wear it. I will gladly wear it because the fact that you got on live for 2 hours, you deserve that.
Whatever shirt size you tell me, I'm going to go down 2 different sizes, just letting you know, so that you can get more views on your reels.
Well, I'm normally a 3X, so that's an extra large. So.
Oh man, this has been a great night. I want to thank everybody in the chat who's been subscribing and coming out of the woodwork to support my channel, my superior channel at 33,000. You know, the air is so crisp up here. Maybe one day when you get to 33,000 on your own, you'll have a great time.
I may never know. I may never know at this point. I might give up. I might never post again because I don't even care now.
Like I said, like I said when you first started bullying me about this, YouTube is my playground. I'm just allowing you to ride on the slide. So,
to be fair, when I said it, we were like 1,200 behind. So I was honestly joking. So the fact that when it started happening, it was more of like a joke that I didn't think we would even get close.
Oh no, I knew you guys were eventually going to pass me. I mean, you guys do a lot of live streams and you guys do a lot of good content, so you're constantly posting. You know, your average subscriber jump every day is pretty good, and it's more than mine, so it's just a matter of time. But
well, I meant like in that time period. I was like, there's no way. Like, I was just joking. I was like, there's no way we get to 33 before you, because I think we were genuinely like 1,200 behind when I'd have to look.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you guys, your live streams go crazy, so you know, and you're pandering to your audience, trying to give away bowling balls and whatever else, you know, that Nate can give away, like free hugs at events and stuff like that. So
yes,
yeah, anything, right?
Yeah, and you know, I just try to find all the men who dislike me on the internet too.
It's not hard. I mean, just
exactly.
You don't have to uncover any stones to find that one, you know. But people are hating.
What have you guys been talking about for 2 hours?
3 hours. 3 hours.
3 hours. What could you possibly be talking about for 3 hours?
I was taking live questions, and the questions never stopped. So I was doing a live. You can watch it. You're gonna be able to watch it all you want. You know.
So you had another YouTube account that you were asking yourself questions. That's really nice.
It must have been hundreds of them because there are all sorts of questions in there. So everybody.
Why did you text me and tell me so I could have jumped in and been on the live and helped get you to 32,000 quicker, and you might have only been on for an hour? See how we could have worked together?
No, that was over and out the window when I felt bullied by you. So, you know, when a great general in command of a great army plans his attack, he doesn't tell his opponent and let him know when the attack's coming. It's called element of surprise. So honestly, what motivated me was when you sent me the screenshot of how many likes you had or subs at 32,952, and I was like, that's it? I'm like, I'm only 50 behind. I can get this tonight. I can do this.
I mean, we gained like 50 without posting the last day, so I was shocked we even got that high, to be honest.
Well, just take solace in knowing that second place is the first loser. So congratulations on 32,950. You almost got there.
Just please, on the bottom of the shirt said it only took 3 hours of my time on a Wednesday night.
Worth every second.
Yeah. No, it's for me too. Like, I'm glad that I know that you had to take 3 hours of your time just so that you could beat me.
Well, I do have other goals, and I wrote these down at the beginning of the year, and it's backwards, but 2025 goals, 40,000 subs by the end of the year. We just got a nice boost today. 150 videos? Holy moly. And 5 million views. So I got a ways to go. We got 6 months of work left, so the year's not over. But 33,000 is in the books. First place, Usain Bolt of YouTube.
So when's your next live gonna be?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna probably take some time off from live. You know, I'm a little worn out.
Yeah, I think you did your whole live for the whole year now.
Yeah. We talked about you coming up here and doing collaboration, and Nate can wait in the parking lot. And
Oh, really? Because when I asked about that, you told me no. So now I'm allowed?
yeah, you're okay now. You're cool.
Okay. All right. Because you literally told me I'm not good enough about a couple months ago, so I'm glad that I am now.
No, I didn't say you weren't good enough. I just said I don't collaborate with fans.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not good enough.
That's my joke.
So now I'm allowed to collaborate because I'm your biggest fan? Is that why?
Yeah, you are. Yeah. So
Okay, so I need a shirt for that one too. So I should have another shirt when we collaborate that I'm your biggest fan.
how many shirts do you need? Jeez.
Well, now that you beat me, you should have enough money to get me a couple of shirts so I can wear them.
It's not about the money. It's about the pride.
Yeah, exactly. So you can take your pride and get me some shirts.
Because
so I can have some
nothing
nice
feels
shirts.
better than first place. Where's my first place trophies at? Oh, they're all up here somewhere. Yep. Don't have to look very far. But
They're right next up.
here you go. Here's a consolation prize. You could have a custom high roller House of Pain patch that you can put on your shirt. How about
I think
that?
you're gonna say it was next to all the checks that we both got on tour this year.
That is true. We both have the equal amount of cashing on the PWBA tour this year. So head to head. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. It's 179 minutes and 51 seconds. I am going to end this thing. And I appreciate you being such a great sport.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if we didn't start talking crap about this, I probably wouldn't even try to get to 32,000 as quick, so it'll probably help us both in the long run.
Hey, now it's all Gucci. You can get to whatever you want. You can get to whatever height you want. I made my point clear that when I want something bad enough, I get it, and that's what happens. I have the best fans in bowling. They supported me tonight. They came through in the clutch, and I will make it worth their while. So I'm going to have a Woo Box link up in my community tab here soon, and you guys will be able to get your chance to win a couple shirts. Elise will have her chance to get a couple shirts too. Maybe you can enter that giveaway, and maybe you can win one. So.
What's a Woo Box?
Oh my God.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
She don't know. Anyway.
What is that?
Oh, it's the giveaway program that randomizes everybody's entry.
Oh, okay, there we go. Clearly, I'm a really good YouTuber and I know all this stuff.
This is why I finished first in 33,000 race and you finished second, which you actually haven't finished yet. So when you get there, let me know. Send me a text or something, like maybe tweet me.
I can't.
Well, good
It
night.
might take me a couple days.
Huh?
I said it might take me a couple days.
I know. Hey, I should screenshot this. Hold on. There we go. Yep. Bam.
Actually, for those of you on the live, if you want to see us get to 32,000, Nate's bowling like the BTM, I think is the one you can film tomorrow. We'll be on live tomorrow.
You gonna be live tomorrow? Man, if
Yeah,
you were
I won't be bowling.
if you were only live today, you could have got there.
I know, if we were only live, but I was watching Nate almost win singles and then 4-9 3 times in one game. So that's what I was doing while you were live.
Paul Willett says I should do her shirt that says "Thumper Dumper" with a whammy picture on it. That's perfect.
According to the internet, I don't have any thump or dump.
You know what? I was just looking for subscribers tonight, and I actually got 3 super chats. I never get super chats, and I got me super chats. And I was like, what's going on here? I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
People come clutch with the super chats even when you're not asking. So.
I never asked. I don't even know what a super chat was. I just saw something pop up, and I was like, what? Like, who pressed that
You
button?
didn't know what a super chat was?
I knew what it was, but I don't never see them. I don't go live. I don't go live.
Okay.
Yeah, I do all my content and all my stuff out of the goodness of my heart because I like doing it. Right?
I think you can get super chats on your video, can't you? I thought.
Comments and stuff?
Yeah, I think you can super chat through a comment.
I never solicit. I'll never solicit those. I'll answer any question they have on a Q&A no matter what. So, which I did for the last 182 minutes and 49 seconds.
I'm so glad Nate was still in the car. He would not have believed me. I'm so glad right before he got
Well,
in the
he
car.
could have just gone on YouTube and looked at my live stream and be like, damn, he was serious.
No, he did. That's what he did before he got in the car. He's like, oh no, he's live right now. And I was like, oh my God, I'm done. Goodbye.
TJ Devin says I need to get you a dude wipe shirt because I wiped her clean.
No, if we're gonna do that, we gotta have the sponsorship check in the account for that.
Don't worry. I will make you a shirt, and it'll be epic. So.
All right. I'll look forward to it. So everyone needs to sub so they can see it on my next ball review video.
Everybody can go subscribe to the Nate and Elise channel now, and support their channel as well because they do a great job. They put out great content, and there's no better troll in the world than Elise Bolton.
Yeah.
That is.
Please subscribe so Nick will still let me do ball reviews. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, maybe watch her videos more often. That way I don't have to tell her, hey, you need to get your views up if you want me to send you any more bowling balls.
Yes, please.
So yeah, watch her videos just so that she can continue to get. And that's the other thing. I helped build your channel. I sent you so many bowling balls over the last.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
If anything, your subscribers are thanks to me. Like, where's the shout out every video? Jeez.
Okay. I actually do. If you watch my videos, I say shout out to Brunswick. Sorry, not Brunsnick, but I say shout out to Brunswick for allowing us. So it's like insinuated.
Cool.
But if you watch, you would know that.
Oh, right. But I do watch. I never heard my name once. So, hey.
Oh, okay, well, you're a part of Brunswick.
Okay, cool.
Don't they sign your checks?
Yeah.
So, technically, I've been thanking you every time. You just weren't listening.
That's cool. Well, hey, I appreciate Florida for tuning in tonight with me.
Can they see me?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that would have been better if
I was trying to figure out how to add you into the live stream on my phone, but I never go live, so I don't know what the buttons mean.
You would have had to. So this is where you messed up. You should have texted me and been like, "Hey, I'm live doing something." I would have gone on the live, and it would have said, "Would you like to invite me?" And I wouldn't have known what was going on. So you missed an opportunity.
Oh, really? Oh, is that what I have to do? I have to tap on someone's name and then I can invite them?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So you missed the opportunity for everyone to see it live.
Well, they got to hear you at least, and they can definitely tell from your voice that it was worth it. 185 minutes of going live for this very moment in time. And I'm going to celebrate by watching some Dodger baseball and starting a Woo Box for a giveaway and having a snack and Dr. Pepper, because that's what I do.
Instead, you could have been on a date, enjoying something fun, but this is what you chose.
Leadham says so much salt in her voice. DB Bauer says she's still second. Yep.
No, all love. I'm happy that I pushed you to be desperate. That is the biggest win in the world for me.
See, this is this is the bully that I'm talking about, everybody. This is the backhanded compliment.
It is.
It's a backhanded compliment. I'm really proud of you for being desperate. It's like, all right, we just turned left. Go on.
Desperate was the last thing I thought you would ever be.
Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Winning never gets old. I'd rather be number one than number two. And when it comes to doing anything possible, I'm gonna do it. But I'll do it sneaky at the very last minute.
I should have known when you texted me and said I have something on my sleeve. I was like, did he film another video?
I even gave you a warning. I did say I have an ace up my sleeve, and here I am. 3 hours. 3 hours and 7 minutes later.
You were going to be a loser.
Oh, I knew it. I
applaud you.
I knew it. Tomorrow was the end day. You were going to get there, and I wasn't.
All right, so now I gotta wait for the Facebook post so I can post it. So get your little Canva out and start posting.
I don't know. I gotta stretch for that. That's.
I guess you can do it tomorrow because I already lost.
Yeah, it's already cemented in time. I got the screenshots and your mug right there. So, everybody, I can't thank you enough. I'm going to be signing out now if I figure out the button that does that for me. I think I just got to press the X. So, Elise, thank you. Nate,
yes,
I hope you made some money tonight. And
that's another conversation, yeah.
Yep.
Thank you guys for helping, Nick.
To all the fans of Brunsnick out there that helped me get there tonight, I can't thank you enough. And you guys are the best. 188 minutes, 3 hours and 8 minutes of my life that are well worth this few minutes of phone call. Good night, everybody. Take care. Talk to you on the next video.